How's that bit rate?
Well, it literally just started. I don't know yet.
No, but I mean, it didn't jump back up to like 12,000.
No.
Okay.
I'm still getting the encoding overload.
Oh.
Encoding overload.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Overloaded with
No, no.
No. What's the matter, Chuck?
No. Hey, the internet can totally see you now.
Why don't
Can
you
they?
Like
That's what YouTube says.
Why don't you like the beef?
No.
Why do we always end up just like immediately falling back into that idiocy every time?
I don't even know how it started.
BJ is not even here to beef it up.
It's a weird beef.
Tweet.
Tweet, tweet.
Oh shit! I should load up that Twitter. Dat Twitter.
Yes.
Tweet, tweet.
Oh,
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa.
sorry.
whoa!
Sticky mouse.
Got a hot mouse over here.
Hot mouse coming out.
So sticky.
Wait, sticky mouse?
Yeah.
Ew.
Oh, it's stuck to my hand. Oh, it's probably my hands are sticky.
I don't want to know why.
Yeah.
No.
What?
No.
You
No.
use the
No.
underhand.
What?
No.
And you type with your nose. Don't you know this? Everybody knows this. Come on.
Nose.
Really torn about masturbation. Because on the one hand, it feels good.
I hate you.
Oh, that ended.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's the end of that. I stole that joke.
YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming.
What? You're not receiving enough something.
Oh man, YouTube hates us so much.
They
I
really
love it.
do. It's probably because we start every podcast with B.
That's
Yeah,
right.
as soon as the beef triggers
Yeah,
their
the bit rate
they're
is
shutting
too
down.
beef trigger.
slow.
Really?
Yeah.
What the hell is it about?
Go into the settings.
What? We're at 5,000.
Drop to 4,500.
You dropped to 4,500.
You.
No, you. It's laggy. So laggy. So laggy.
So wait, we're getting messages over there about something? Or is it you're trying to watch it and it's laggy?
No, I'm.
Oh.
Well, him, I don't know.
Oh.
It's pretty laggy.
Well, I don't know what the fuck this encoding overload bullshit is. This is new.
Encoding overload. Yeah, it's laggy as shit. Let's all be quiet.
Okay. I was thinking maybe for your quiet, the bits we get through better.
Yeah, if we
if
don't-
it doesn't have to encode any sound.
Yeah, if we
right.
don't use sound, more video bits get out.
I don't know. I'm about ready to just, like, next time we'll just delete the fucking profile and scenes and everything else, start it from scratch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why no quarters is fucking fine and set to more than twice the bit rate.
Does it still say it's overloaded?
Mm-hmm. I can't read the rest of the message. Maybe if I extend this out. Or using a faster encoding preset. I don't know what that means.
Don't know either.
Hmm? I was trying the other ones. I was trying VBR. I was trying all of them. It didn't change anything.
Try some surf.
Huh? CRF. Yeah, some serfdom. Fuck, man. I don't know. I've tried faster. I've tried slower.
Yeah, I thought you dropped this to the proper rates before.
And it stopped doing this. But I mean, like, the program is saying we're sending too much out, and YouTube is saying they're not getting enough.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Look at Goldilocks YouTube here. Am I right? I'm right.
It's because we've been demonetized, isn't it?
Probably.
We're on the shitty servers now.
Probably.
Honestly, we probably are. This is terrible.
Got your fucking Logan pies on one big fat pipe, and we're on all sharing this shitty pipe.
Shitty pipe.
Your chat messages are now saved and may be seen by viewers who watch the recording of the live stream.
Oh. Well, that's new and nice, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good step up.
Yeah. How about you, like, open up some fucking pipe, though, so we can get this shit out
Yeah.
there?
Give us some fucking pipe.
Yeah, let us lay some fucking pipe, man. You know what I'm saying? Pipe.
Please let us slide our podcast into your pipe. What?
And smoke it.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's real lag. It's like... It's not even 1 frame per second. I mean, it's bad.
I can stop it and try again.
Let's do that.
All right. It's worse than a Gumby cartoon. Damn it.
Stream resumed. The stream is continuing.
So far, I'm not getting the overload message.
Okay.
We'll see.
So far, I got a green light here.
All right.
Green light.
Stream is healthy.
Yeah, it's a good stream.
Yeah. Thick.
Yeah. Meaty.
You can really wrap your hand around it.
Yeah.
It's girthy. It's a girthy stream.
Prostate's looking good.
Yeah. Pink.
You guys.
I don't know. Is that good for prostate?
I think almost everything's pink on the inside.
Yeah, it is.
Just different shades of pink.
Different shades of...
No.
Oh, there goes the fucking frame rate.
Boom! Wrecked it!
Got beef triggered by the soy boys at Google.
All those millennial soy boys. Jesus Christ. I just love calling that a top-tier projection insult. It's so good. It's a good way to shut down any stupid-ass insult like that.
Mm-hmm. What you doing over there? Oh, you gotta take your meds?
You gotta, prevent my ulcer from opening the singularity.
Yes, the singularity.
All this bitrate stuff is very stressful.
Is it?
It's very stressful.
So is it, like, working now? Like,
Oh, yeah,
clear
we seem to be
stream?
fine now. Yeah, we're
All
green.
right.
We're green.
Sweet.
We can do this shit.
super green?
Super green. Any kind of green you want. Ugh. Man, cocaine.
Yeah.
I haven't done any. I'm just like,
Oh, it's just man.
yeah, it's just cocaine.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
If you'd like to send us cocaine,
Don't. Just make sure it's
Don't
really,
do
really
that.
well sealed.
don't label it cocaine inside and send it to the following address.
Fragile cocaine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we do a podcast, do you think?
We should totally podcast.
Let me put this on the Discord real quick.
Oh.
Yeah, you should let the Discord people know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll stop bitching at each other. Join us in this chat.
Nobody's bitching at each other.
Hey, cat.
It's me bitching at everyone else.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. Thanks. What, you're signing in with the official BMFcast?
Yeah, that's the only way I can see the
Oh.
the health of the stream. Stream health.
Get you with the crown and shit.
Yeah. Check out my crown. Wait, scroll back up. Is that dude still making movies?
It appears so, yeah.
Jesus.
Who?
How old-
Branscombe Richmond?
No, Sidney J. Fury.
How old is that motherfucker?
That motherfucker's old.
Born in 1933.
Woo!
So do some math.
Motherfucker.
That's
old.
a lot of years.
It's an old son of a bitch.
Yeah, but he's Canadian, so it's like.
Oh, well,
you
then,
know.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
different
so
life.
like
cycle.
for every
It's a
five
metric system.
every 5 years here, it's 6 years there,
Yeah,
or
that's right.
something.
Oh, man.
Mm.
All right.
Did he direct all the Iron Eagle movies?
I think
Did he
there's
skip
a lot
3?
more.
Looks like he skipped 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
First one, second one, fourth one.
He did not direct Aces.
He
Iron
had
Eagle
to take
3.
he had to take the time to make the Taking of Beverly Hills and Ladybugs.
Oh, good. Ladybugs. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is that Ladybugs. I was just making sure.
That
I was just making sure it wasn't. There's not another Ladybugs movie that's like some crazy action movie.
We gotta kill the ladybugs.
Yeah.
Oh, man, Chuck.
Yes,
There's a computer game you can really review.
I know.
Have you downloaded it
I'm already
already?
prepared to do this.
What, there's a Taking of Beverly Hills video game.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
DOS only, bitch.
DOS for life!
Yeah.
MS-DOS only,
Yeah.
no PC-DOS.
Nah, they were
Get
all
that
like,
shit out of
fucking
here.
DOS exclusive, man. Take your
Yeah.
Z-ass Spectrum and fuck off. Fucking
Yeah.
Brits.
AutoExec.bat.
Yeah.
Config.sys this shit.
Uh-huh.
Optimize your high mem.
Yeah.
Man. Those were the days.
Fucking load star, comma 8, comma 1, am I right?
Oh, you know, you're going... That's not DOS.
I know.
You're doing Commodore 64.
I am.
Shit. Shit.
All these mouth sounds would just be driving BJ absolutely insane right now.
Nah.
Nah.
All right, let's do a podcast.
All right.
Let's do it. Woo!
All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey.
BMFcast.
Woo.
Episode 414.
That's a palindrome.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot.
it is a lot. So many, in fact, that this is kind of our 9th anniversary episode.
God, 9 years. That's
Yeah,
messed up.
yeah. It is pretty messed up. I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm Chuck.
Yeah, there's no BJ. A big monumental,
So messed up he couldn't make it.
Red letter day episode, and
This is how much we care about
Yeah.
anniversaries.
yeah.
No one gives a shit about the 9th anniversary.
Yeah, the 9th anniversary is like, I don't know, paper or something.
A day off is the gift.
Yeah.
Yes. An extra sick day.
Yes, PTO is what you get.
It's like
It's like, hey, you haven't quite made it to 10.
it's like skipping your retirement party.
Yeah.
I like it. So what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Come in here and talk about it for the first half, and then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They go 1 to 5 jocks. This is robot jocks.
Robot
Yay!
jocks!
That's a good movie.
However, there are bad movies. Stay away. They're getting negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags is in the giant bags of trash in which they belong.
Yeah.
Trash
something.
is bad.
Trash bags.
Wrap them
Something.
up and throw them out.
Mm-hmm.
Bury them in the backyard.
Probably not going to have to worry about that for this week's movie.
Probably not.
Because this week brings us 1991's The Taking of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, it does.
Oft requested, finally watched, and about to be talked about.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very quick plot summary because, we're going to talk about this movie anyway, so let's just get this out of the way.
Okay.
A group of embittered ex-cops use a chemical spill to raid the banks and homes of Beverly Hills.
Yes.
Short, sweet, gets to the point.
And accurate.
Man. What a great premise.
Pretty good premise.
It's a great premise.
Now, this movie starts with a long credit sequence.
Boy, does it.
Really long credit sequence.
Guess what? Rich people live in Beverly Hills.
Uh-huh. And, well, yeah, because, even before the credits fully start, you get Matt Frewer voicing over, talking about how there's X number of people, which is pretty small, but there's this giant amount of money in Beverly Hills, and blah, 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 and money, and then they spend the entire credits showing you all this money, Rodeo Drive, and all of the fancy-ass brand names, and fancy cars,
Yes.
and
They established
silicon
the
women, and all that stuff.
shit
Yeah.
out of this city.
But yeah, it's Is this our first Ken Wall movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't make a
Somehow.
ton.
He did not make. He was the wise guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes. That wise guy.
You know,
this
from the hit show Wise Guy.
oh, yeah. Okay.
But yes, I'm sure. There aren't many opportunities to do Ken Wall movies.
No. But he's the star of this one.
Uh-huh.
And as I said, Matt Frewer. Robert Davi's in this.
Yeah,
a whole.
he is.
Let's just say a whole bunch of people are in it. I think most notably, since it's been long overdue that we haven't mentioned him, because we started kind of doing a little count, and Branscombe Richmond has made a lot of appearances on the BMFcast, and we've never called him out by name.
No.
Granted, this one he probably gets his biggest role, or at least like
Of what we've done. Yeah.
of what we've done. Yeah, usually he's like henchman number 3,
Or
and-
bartender.
yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just
He's usually not named characters.
no, and he gets a lot of screen time, and is kind of like your Carl from Die Hard in this one. You know, he's just this killing force dude that just very much enjoys his job. So we'll get more of him.
He's into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. I mean, there's so many other people that show up in this movie.
Yeah.
Like just, hey, it's that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah. After the establishing credits, it's pretty much like go to a homeless charity thing.
It's a benefit dinner
Yeah.
where we will be introduced to some of the main characters.
Most.
Many. Some who you think might be main characters who never come back.
Yeah.
There's a lot of speaking roles here that a lot of them don't pay off. But yeah, you meet Robert Davi. He's the owner of a football team that we're told, I'm guessing one of the LA teams. Which,
Yeah, sure.
Which in '89 did they still have a team?
They saw the Rams, right?
Yeah, they had the Rams back
Okay.
then.
They might have had
Yeah.
the Raiders too. I don't remember when they moved because they went to LA for a little while. And
Yeah. And they were Oakland, and they went back.
yeah. I don't know.
LA is just like this pass-through football town, but it's not a real team he's on anyway because
Right.
his jersey is
Green
the
Bay.
Green Bay Packers
Yeah.
colors, and it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's just football.
Yeah.
He's a football man.
Yes.
He owns other football men's.
He's boomer football.
Yes. Yeah. But so Robert DeVee is the owner of the team. You've got, like the mayor and the police chief. The police chief is Ferris Bueller's dad. And there's a lady in this movie, basically the only lady in this movie, Harley Jane Kozak, you've seen her in a bazillion things.
If you watch anything in like 1990,
Yeah.
89, 91, in that era, she showed up in everything.
Yeah. I want to say, wasn't she the
feels
mom
like-
in like Parenthood?
Yeah. She was Inside Out,
She was Inside Out.
one of a BMFcast
Yeah.
collection of movies.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was so long ago.
And she was in
I barely remember that.
Yeah, she was in Necessary Roughness, Arachnophobia.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but anyway, there's a lady in this movie. Exactly one lady.
I mean, there's some background ladies, like
Yeah, but
But
like
yes.
There
as
is
a
one lady.
character,
there's one,
there's
speak-
one
there's
lady.
one speaking role, female character.
As,
in the
as
entire movie.
befits a movie from 1990 that's an action movie.
Yeah, and she's a fancy Beverly Hills lady who is also at this dinner party.
Yeah, and
Where-
we kind of get a little bit of the relationships explained because Robert DeVee is obviously kind of shady business guy. We don't really, I don't know that they ever really talk about how he actually made his money other than probably crime.
Yeah,
And her father is an insurance guy,
King Insurance.
and like basically he's just always been on that guy to like, hey, I'm going to marry your daughter. He's like, no, you're not.
Yeah,
like,
no,
you're a
get out
piece
of
of shit.
yeah,
But yes, Robert DeVee also owns whatever football team that Boomer is on.
right.
And Boomer is being made to show up to this thing to, glad hand and be like, hey, I'm a football guy.
Yeah.
Give some money to homeless.
Although he doesn't seem against it. I mean, like he shows up and is just like, "All right, let's fucking do this. Hey, look at you. You're over there, and I'm the guy." And, I mean, he's good at the schmoozing. So,
Yeah. But he also kind of calls it out for being bullshit.
oh sure, but he knows his role.
Yeah.
So the insurance guy keeps getting up on stage to make little announcements, and each announcement is punctuated by a little musical motif, like a 4 or 5 note thing that the band will play, like "Shut the fuck up, the insurance man is about to speak." Yeah, but this is all just chit chat, introduction. Harley, the lady gets up to leave, and Ken Wall goes after her.
Yeah. But we're also introduced to the head of security,
Right.
who is he was
Leaving.
in Streets of Fire.
Yeah, and yes, he was, and he was in
Leaving.
Get Crazy also.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Clue, which is what I know him from.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, that's not who he is.
Yeah, but he's like very pissed at the cops for not getting, because I love that it's a homeless benefit, but he's pissed at the cops for not getting the actual homeless people out of the way.
Right. Yes.
And the chief of police is like, do you have to be yelling?
Yeah.
At like, we're loaning you my cops for this because you're private security.
Yeah.
Do you have to be yelling at them
And
about?
he does the whole like, I don't work for you anymore. I can say whatever the fuck I want,
Right.
kind of thing.
So they're like, ooh, former cop.
Yeah.
And like each table has like their own designated homeless person who is like receiving whatever benefit. It's icky. I mean, it's Beverly Hills icky. It's gross, but whatever.
Yeah, but yes, Kinwall follows her out.
Yeah.
After she kind of shoots down Robert DeVee.
Yeah, she kind of shoots him down, and Ken Wall's like, "Watch this," and Robert DeVee's like, "Not a chance, buddy. You ain't."
Her dad also called him out on stage because he donated a $1 million check. He's like, $1 million check from whatever the fuck his name is. What is his name?
Robert DeVee.
Robert DeVee. His name is Robert also in the movie, but
Bat is what everyone calls him.
Yeah. And he's just like, yeah, it's like, this is going to go a long ways, but for you, it's basically nothing. So thanks for nothing. Yeah, like, play off the stage.
Yeah, I love that was half the money they raised.
Yeah.
And he still throws shade at this guy.
Yeah.
It's like this fucking guy.
Yeah, Mr. Deep Pockets
Like, this
over
is
here.
how much he hates Robert DeVee.
Yeah.
He doesn't much care for him.
Yeah, I'll cash your check, but I'll tell you to fuck off while I do it.
But yeah, Boomer chases after Laura and is like, and everyone at the table is like, oh yeah, I bet you $50 you won't get anywhere with her. And his whole spiel is like, hey, come on, I want to talk. Like, let's get to know each other. And she's like, no, I
don't like jocks.
Yeah, and he's like, well, what about if I donate my time? I'll donate. I'll have a thing for the homeless people's kids. They need hope and stuff. And she's like,
I'll teach them football.
yeah. And she's like, what? No. And he's like, what about every day for a week or a year? And she's like, all right, what do I have to do? And he's like, 24 hours. And they start bargaining, and eventually they settle down to like 8 hours, but starting right now.
Yeah.
And part of that is
spend
like,
8 hours with me.
he's like, kiss me on the cheek and walk away with me.
Yeah.
Make it look like I, gotcha.
Right. Yeah. To which
She's like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
8 hours starts now. Let's go.
Everyone back at the table is just like, man, fuck that guy.
The coach in particular.
Yes.
He's like, I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah. But like all through dinner, like Robert DeVee was giving Ken Wall shit, just like, how many years do you think you got left in you, you piece of shit? Just like, you fucking suck.
Yeah, you showboater.
Yeah,
and all this stuff.
There's no I in team, jerk off. I mean, it's just all that kind of shit. And you're just like, what's your deal, man? Just if you're the owner, fucking bench him. I don't.
Yeah.
What are you trying to shame him for? But yeah, so it's just okay. Come back to my house they go to another restaurant to sip more cognac, like the other restaurant in town that's open, the rival to this benefit.
Yeah.
And
because it's Sunday night, man.
Yeah.
Because he had a big game that day.
He did.
Took a few hits.
He did. He took
as
some
we
hits.
learn later.
Yes. But yeah, they have a few drinks and then they go back to his house.
Yep, and sit and talk.
Yes.
Which he's like, yeah. Robert B, besides being obviously a shit heel by the end of this movie, just can't sit here and talk, and I didn't expect that of you. And he's like, yeah, football and things, and I don't like getting hit, so that's why I play.
Yeah, he's basically like,
I play quarterback because I don't like getting hit.
Yeah, and I got hit a bunch today, so can you go now?
Yeah, so
it's weird.
He basically says, "Can we save our last 2 hours for later?"
Yeah, can we bank our last? Because it seems like she is like, okay, let's fucking do
Oh well,
this.
she says something like, he's like, is everything satisfactory? And she's like, oh, I haven't quite been satisfied yet.
Yeah,
and it's like, and the smoky sax is blaring and all this stuff.
And you're like, dude, it's fucking on. And then he's like, listen, I took a shot to the ribs earlier, so can we use our last couple hours later and you go home now? And she's like, okay. So they go to the door, and then he's like, let me make out with you. And then he's like, I feel better.
Well, as they were standing in the door, because we've also simultaneous to smoky sax playing, and they're about to get it on. There's also our Branscombe witch teats.
Branson, Missouri.
Richmond is driving a toxic chemical truck, like careening around corners, just grinning like a madman.
Yes.
And Matt Frewer, who is a cop, is kind of chasing him and like, oh no, dangerous. I mean, clearly on the side it's like toxic chemicals.
Yeah, that's all it says.
Yeah. And he's like, here's the number and all this stuff, and it's going through these side streets and everything. And while they were at the door, she's about to leave. They like kiss for the first time, and then they hear this, and they look out, and What was that? Was it an earthquake? No, it was the earth moving.
Yeah, they act like just, oh dear God, the house is shaking. It's like, if your house is not equipped to handle a truck going by, you're gonna get fucking wrecked when there's an earthquake.
You should not live in California.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're just like...
So it's just like, hey, this is kind of what happening, and it also was going down his street. And
because there's only really 2 streets in this Beverly Hills that's been constructed. It's all like one city block because they just keep looping around it the whole time.
Yeah.
But
as it turns out, they had built an entire street. They had built an entire Beverly Hills near Mexico City.
Yes. That will make sense.
Will make sense very, very soon.
Yes.
But they proceed to his bathroom where he's got a giant jacuzzi.
He does.
And full of bubbles.
It's a huge jacuzzi.
And she walks in and almost gets blindsided by this tackle dummy thing that's like on a pneumatic pump thing.
Alzado.
Yeah, that's what he's like, that's Alzado, my best friend.
Yeah.
He keeps me on my toes. And she's like, okay, great.
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll come up later in the movie. And so, like...
There's a lot of things you wonder that about. Because, like, also at the dinner, don't forget, Robert DeVee has asthma. And you think, he's going to get fucking killed with asthma.
Yeah. The asthma's going to come back to get him.
So, but yeah, so, like, she's just kind of, like, dipping her toe in and toying with him. And and eventually she's just like, you got any champagne? And he's like, why?
Well, she's also stripped down to... she appears to be wearing a one-piece lingerie thing.
Yeah. And then she puts one of his jerseys
on over it. Yeah.
So she's like dancing around the hot tub, and he's like, "Get in!" And she's like, "Got any champagne?" And he's like, "No, why?
Do you need
it?
it?
Do you actually need it?"
Kitchen, all right.
But she says no, and then he's like, "It's in the fridge," and she's like, "Okay." So
well, she didn't need it; she just wanted it.
She just wanted it.
Yeah,
yeah. So she goes downstairs to get it. Well, in the meantime, during their flirtations, the toxic chemical truck has overturned and exploded.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he's basically dumped the back off of the... Like, he's dumped the trailer somehow.
Yeah, he pretty much, like...
He skidded into a car.
It should be noted, like, everyone in this movie is stunt driving all the time.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
They've
All
wet
the
down
time.
all the streets.
Yeah.
And anytime anyone enters the scene, it's just like, stunts.
So, yeah, he whips this truck around and basically jackknifes disconnecting the trailer so that it rolls up on this truck, and the truck explodes, and it just starts leaking chemicals.
Yeah.
And Matt Frewer's like, oh, Jesus Christ, get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
And just, like, peels off, like, code 4, code 4.
Yeah. So, like, all the EMS dudes come in, and then just, like, this squadron of EPA guys show up in, like, formation in, like, 4x4s, and they're all in the trucks, like, standing up in the back, like this synchronized trucking. And so they all show up, and they're barricading everything, and they start driving around. It's like, hey, get out. Get the fuck out.
And the cops are like, hey, we got to get all our hazmat stuff on, and we got to do this.
Yeah, but the rest of the cops are like, barricade Beverly Hills, like, blah, blah, blah. This is a 3-mile radius that we got to quarantine off. So it's basically block out anyone coming into Beverly Hills. So, again, every single cop is like, fuck yeah, it's stunt time.
Yes.
Because every single cop car is like, pulling sideways to block the roads and everything.
No one is just casually parking and like, all right, I got this street blocked. It is just like, fucking whip this wheel around and let's see where I land.
It's kind of glorious how much stunt driving is going on.
It's also amazing that Beverly Hills has this plan, in effect, that works within 3 minutes. Like, they have this shit down.
Well, to be fair, does it? Do they?
No.
Because...
No, but I mean, like, a lot of the stuff was based on the city plan to do this, not like the criminals plan to do this, because like the buses come in and get everybody out, and it's pretty much everybody. Like they fully evacuate Beverly Hills, except for the people who obviously are going to be left behind. But so
I mean, they do seem to have some, but this is all pre-planned by bullshit terrorist cop people. So. I mean, because, like, the EPA dudes come in and it's like, oh, yeah, it's such and such gas, get the fuck out of here, and hazmats, and so...
they send the regular cops out. They're like, go to the perimeter.
Yeah, like the legit cops are out at the perimeter, just not letting anybody in. All the rest of the cops have gone back to the station, are suiting up, to which... There was a point when Matt Frewer came back, like, after he was like, get the fuck out of here, like, like, he comes into the station, and there are 2 dudes in, like, white tuxedos.
Yep.
And they've got, like, a Bob's Big Boy statue.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, they were on, like, a bachelor party or something, and, like, they read a coffee shop and just, like, thought this was a souvenir. And he's like, don't you think we could let them go? Don't we have bigger fish to fry? And he's like, yeah, you're probably right. Just let them go.
Right.
So, all the cops are in like this one room, like this meat cooler.
Yes,
like this meat locker room where they're gearing up with the hazmat suits.
Meat locker room is what it is.
And those dudes with the big boy like roll it, like as they're leaving, they like roll by that door, and this door locks from the outside with like a cooler locker.
Yeah.
So like they lock all these cops in and put a deadbolt on it. And,
yeah, but they have also like opened up the Bob's Big Boy and produced weapons out of its ass.
Yes, they did.
They were hiding weapons in the ass of Bob's Big Boy. But yeah, they closed the meat locker room
And trap all the cops in
all
there.
the cops are just like, hey, let us out. So that's it for the cops.
Yeah. And so, yeah, everyone that's left inside, basically, because like they've also brought up school buses and are like, driving around like, get out now. If in exposed, prolonged exposure to this will kill you. Get out now. And everybody hears this except for Ken Wall, who's just like, I'm chilling in the hot tub and I didn't hear any of this. So, so like,
Well, he had the music going.
Yeah.
The jacuzzi.
he did. Yeah, I love that. Like he hits one song and he goes like, "Nah, too on the nose."
Yep.
And then he gets to like Marvin Gaye's "Let's Get It On." He's like, "Perfect."
Yes. It's like, what the fuck, dude? That is so on the nose.
That had to be ironic. There's no way it wasn't, but
Yeah.
it's still pretty great.
Yep.
But
But
what
she
happens?
she had gone to get the champagne or whatever, and like here's the commotion outside. So she goes to the door, and immediately the cops are there, like, "Come on, lady, we got to go." And she's like, "Boomer's still inside." They're like, "Forget Boomer."
Yeah,
and then like,
forget your fucking dog,
because everyone's
lady.
like, "Oh, it's got to be the dog or something."
Right.
And so they
I love that. Like, this is the quarterback for the local team.
Yeah. His name's fucking
His
Boomer.
nickname is Boomer.
It's his house.
Everyone knows him.
I know.
yeah, but
But they're all just like,
they
who the fuck is
throw
Boomer?
her on the bus and they're like, "Go, lady, go!" And so she's gone and on the bus with everybody else. And their plan is like they're going to take them all to this hotel in Century City, like,
Yes.
outside the area, and it happens to be the one owned by Robert DeVee.
Yes.
And so like they don't really give them rooms or anything. They're just like, "No, you can come hang out at this hotel."
Well, I think a lot of people did have rooms, but they just
okay.
didn't have enough rooms for everybody.
Right.
So a lot of people are just
Yeah.
chilling in the lobby.
And Robert DeVee spends the rest of the movie inviting people to go up to his room.
Yeah.
Like, you can use my suite. You can
And
you can
continually
rest
getting
up.
turned down no matter who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like that was going to come back somehow, but it never does.
There's so many dangling plot threads in this that just it seems like, oh, this is going to be a thing. Oh, it's not.
so
Totally
many
not a
things
thing.
that come up
Yeah.
multiple times yet never amount to it.
Yes.
They just kind of like go away by the end.
Yeah.
It's strange.
It is.
Yeah. But the funny thing to note about this is like when they first arrive, about the only thing going apeshit are the dogs, because like apparently in the entirety of Beverly Hills there's about 8 dogs, and this one bellhop has all of them, and he's just like, they're pissing everywhere. Oh dear God! And like they're the only thing is like everyone else is like, yeah, we're chilling here, whatever, and like sipping champagne and smoking cigars and stuff, and then like. I mean, this is skipping ahead, but I want to note it. Like at first, they're all just chill, like, "Yeah, we're rich. Oh, look at me, Monopoly Man here."
Yeah, it's playing solitaire at tables.
And then
stuff.
like next time, it's like they've gone to like they're playing full on craps on the stairwells. They're like, "Yeah, fucking
sling that dice, yo.
they're rolling bones, yo."
They're like in the back
Click
of
clack, motherfucker.
Yeah, they're like in the alley behind the butcher shop, like hyped about dice.
Yeah.
I think the next shot would have been like they started a full on fucking fight club.
Yes, exactly. Like fucking gladiators and shit.
Just Thunderdome here in the lobby of this hotel.
It seemed like it was progressing, but again, it didn't.
No.
They just don't. But so everyone's at the hotel. Eventually, Ken Wall decides to get out of the hot tub and is just like, "Where'd she go?" And like goes down to look for her. Hears commotion outside, opens the door, and then like cops are like, "Oh fuck, that's Boomer, get him."
Yeah. And keep in mind, he's walking out in a towel.
He is, yeah. So,
so they're like, send 2 cops to get him.
yeah,
And first, one dude gets cracked by the door as he's trying to get in, so that's pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, the one guy gets like they get there quick.
Oh, yeah.
those
Oh, yeah.
cops, because like he's barely got the door shut, and one guy's already through, and he chucks him on the ground, and then smashes that other dude with the door.
Yeah.
And then he runs upstairs, and we didn't have to wait very long for Alzado to come into play because, like, he goes back up into the bathroom, positions that thing like sideways to the door, jumps into the jacuzzi, and buries his head under the water. And this dude comes through the door. Like, first off, they're coming through every door and just spraying. And so like he comes in and sprays, and then like takes one step into the thing into the room, and this thing just goes and like just defenestrates him out the side window.
Oh, right through the fucking window.
Oh, it looked like it hurt too.
Oh,
because he like
it was
catches
good.
it from the side.
Yeah.
That guy got wiped out.
So
I don't remember how the other dude got taken out.
well, okay. because
Yeah, we got to
Beverly.
rewind
there was-
a little bit.
There was a bit outside where someone got.
Oh, it was the mayor.
The mayor showed
Mayor
up at the,
was like-
at the
It was like,
roadblock
all right.
and was like,
The mayor was like
"Let me
driving
in."
like a shitty Honda Civic,
Yeah.
by the way. I was like, you're the mayor of Beverly Hills and you've got like a
Yeah.
really shitty car.
Well, he's a city
They
servant.
make it clear that like any civil servant in
It's just
Beverly
shit.
doesn't live in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, because they
live
were all
elsewhere
outside
and
the
can't
perimeter.
But I'm
afford
saying
any
like
of it.
mayor's the kind of thing like somebody with some money would run for just as a prestige thing.
Maybe not.
You know what I mean? Like,
maybe rich people don't want the hassle.
you know what I mean? It just
I
seems like,
do, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like, oh yeah, I'm the mayor of Beverly Hills. Like,
But-
carte blanche
you
here.
run for it for the prestige and you don't actually expect to win.
Yeah,
and then
I
you
guess.
win and then you don't know what to do once you've won because you've never actually
Oh, I see.
earned any money that you've made in your life.
Oh, I get
and
where
then
this
you
is
just
going.
get confused. and
Oh, I understand.
that's
That
how you
sounds-
end up being mayor.
That
Yeah.
sounds stupid. Why
That-
would anyone
yeah.
do that?
That's a real dumb idea.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, he gets to the barricade and pulls up, but he sees Lee Ving
Mm-hmm.
standing there in a cop's uniform. He's like, "What the hell are you doing in a cop's uniform?" He's just like, he's basically just like a sitting duck. I mean, it's just every pun from Die Hard 2
Mm-hmm.
just pops him in the head. And Matt Frewer drives up and is like, "Hey,
I thought we said no blood."
no killing." And
Yeah, and this is also the first time that we've seen that Matt Frewer's in on it.
yeah, this is like he drives up and at first you're looking at him like, why is he not freaking out that the mayor's been shot in the head? But then he's just like, oh yeah, okay, I thought you said no blood.
Yeah.
So anyway, that guy's about to get the drop on Ken Wall in the hot tub, and then all of a sudden, like his chest explodes,
Right.
and then standing behind him is Matt Frewer, and
Yeah.
he's just like, but I'm,
Who promptly has a breakdown.
yeah, he's just like, yeah, I can't. This not the plan, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 45 minutes to Rich.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be anybody getting hurt.
Everyone gets 2 million, man. So.
Because, yeah, they also have, we didn't even know, like, they have a countdown clock. Like,
Oh, they
everyone-
have 2 dudes with computers with synchronized countdown clocks.
Everyone has a fucking graphing calculator on their wrist. Like, they're just like, beep, boop, beep, boop,
That
beep, boop.
allows them to bypass security systems.
Yeah, they Velcro this shit open, and these are like official Sanyo alarm decoders.
Okay.
Sure.
I mean, they look like graphing calculators, but
Yes,
they
are.
had some specific dumb name.
All right.
But yeah, and so they're heisting. They're heisting
Yeah,
throughout
but I
the
mean,
city,
but-
all to remixed EMF's Unbelievable.
yeah.
And they're rolling out, like, hazmat barrels and stuff and loading shit into them.
Yeah.
Because, like, at first they're just like, fuck the houses. Take everything out of the houses. So,
Yeah, which to me doesn't make much sense. I mean, you've got all these stores on the main storefront. Just take those.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't understand what they're doing.
Well, the other weird thing is, I mean, we'll get to it later, but it's like when shit starts to go kind of south, they're like, all right, go for the primary target. I'm like, doesn't primary mean first? And wouldn't you go for that first?
Yeah.
Like,
they seem to be there dicking around with that thing a lot.
sure,
but another cool thing about it is so that these 2 dudes with their synchronized computers also have this running tally. They have like itemized lists of what's in each location, and then they're running this money tally of how much they've gotten so far. That's kind of cool.
It is.
Like no one does that, but
Yeah.
no one's done this ridiculous
But-
operation of
so-
10,000 men before.
okay, so there is a line that explains why they're breaking into the houses and why they know exactly what to go for.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Moneybags insurance guy, Robert DeVee, said, like, I got the information from your dad.
Right.
That's why I knew exactly what to steal and where
right.
it was. Like, who had what. That's
Yeah.
why they're, like, literally like, go in that house, steal that painting, it's worth this much. Go in this house, steal
it's
that.
all itemized
Yeah.
and valued.
Yeah. Which, yeah, eventually we find out Robert DeVee's in on it.
Of
But
course he is.
but through most of the early part, they just kind of play it like
He's just a dude hanging out with all the other rich people
Yeah.
at the hotel. So.
But we know it's Robert DeVee.
Of course we do.
We're like, all right, when's he turn?
Yeah.
So Matt Frewer is like just sitting on the edge of the jacuzzi freaking out, and Ken Walsh is like, fuck it, I'm suiting up, and like goes and gets his other jersey, like laces up his shoes and everything, grabs a cortisone shot because he's been like ever since he was like, I did take a few dinks, like he was never limping up until it was like time for the sexing.
It takes a while
Yeah.
to catch up with you.
Yeah,
He was
so-
still running on adrenaline.
And he was like, I don't. That's all right. If there is one thing about this movie I don't understand, I never understood what his plan was. Like, I mean, other than like he was going to disrupt this shit.
Yeah.
He says at one point we have to get out so that we can get into L.A. and we can warn somebody.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
he immediately tries to call, and Matt Frewer's like, don't bother.
Yeah,
they,
phones are dead.
they cut that shit a long time ago.
Yeah, because he says our plan is to get out, and Matt Frewer says you're not even going to get out of the yard. So
Yeah.
he's just like,
And-
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And Matt Frewer's just like, we're just going to die here. He's
Yeah.
like, well, I'm going to die doing something then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to die because you're coming with me because I don't know how to use guns, but
yes, which is a running theme throughout the film. He does not know how to use guns.
He's kind of an Abilene in that
Yeah.
regard.
Yes.
But it should be noted that at this point, our friend Branscombe has been shown up in a SWAT tank thing.
Yes.
And he's just kind of like careening through the streets like, fuck yeah, I'm driving this tank thing. And they're about ready to like, all right, we got to have a plan. We got to like run out this door and, you know, cause some chaos and get away. And he's like, yeah, don't worry. It'd take a tank to get through this door. And of course, that's immediately when they're like, hey, we haven't heard from those two guys that we sent over there for a while. Like, send in the tank. So yes, he plows through their door. And this is the first of many, 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 like, fuck that house, fuck that wall, fuck everything with this tank.
Well, when they first run out of the house, Boomer is just footballing men to death. He is just shoulder tackling them and juking out of the way and just doing football moves at them, which is just murdering these fools, breaking their ankles, which murders them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they just start running through the neighborhood, and this dude is chasing them in the SWAT tank, blowing up houses along the way.
Firing the tank.
Yeah, because, well, at first it's just like, hey, I'm going to run over this car, I'm going to run through this wall or whatever. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I have a turret on this that can fire shit.
Yep.
And, yeah, when he first starts firing, it's like, holy shit. Because some of them is just like, yeah, all right, he just blew up a wall, and then they run through a tennis court, and he's like, yeah, I kind of blew up a little bit of the corner there. And then, like, the next time, it's like, he takes a shot at the house, and the house is basically made of napalm, because
It's like the White House on Independence Day.
Yeah.
That thing fucking goes up.
it's just like, oh, shit. And, yeah, they blow up a lot of stuff in this chase sequence.
They do, yeah. Eventually, they try to hide in a trash can. And like, it doesn't matter. Whenever they think they have successfully hidden, that dude is immediately there. He's just like, haha, I got you.
But
now.
he didn't know they were in the trash can.
No, the trash can just gets pulled into the. It's just it gets stuck in front of the tank as he's driving down this alley.
As he's just smashing through walls.
Yeah, and it rolls out of the way just before he rams into a police car and just fucking wrecks that thing. He's just like, get out of my way.
Yeah, I mean, the way this goes on and on, like wherever they go, like they peek around a corner, and it's like, oh god, there he is.
Yeah,
you know, it's like he becomes like the Freddy Krueger of this movie because
Yes.
it's like, oh god, he's there again, and he's coming for us.
Yes,
And I don't know what his role is. I mean, they mentioned something about like him being a hitman, which seems like a weird thing to have brought into this game if you didn't know there was going to be, you know, people like a loose cannon running around, or two loose cannons, as they say in this movie.
yeah. It's never clear what he was supposed to be doing during all this, but he is just it's his mission.
Wild card, bitches.
Yeah, it's his mission to just squelch these two motherfuckers. It's just like this is my life now. I have to murder these men. So
Yeah,
That's fair.
But there's a lot of back and forth of him just chasing them, and then cutting back to Robert Davi at the hotel.
Yeah.
And then coming back, and they're like coming out of an alley going, oh, I think we got away. And it's like, nope,
yeah,
tank.
yeah, yes. And eventually they get away from it by well, no, because they go through the streets at one point. They're in the main city being chased by the tank, and that's when Ken Wall declares, I'm tired of this shit.
I'm going on offense.
Yeah, just like no more defense for me. And then so they run over to, there's this house with a fence on it, and he just tells Matt Frewer to sit on the fence. Just sit here, and when I say jump down, run to your left. And Matt Frewer is just sitting on this fence whistling while Ken Wall runs after the tank. Is just like, come on, tank, come get me. So they wait till the tank runs out of ammo, by the way.
Yeah.
So he has fired all of his shots. And then he just has him come towards the fence. He tells Matt Frewer to jump. He jumps over. And then, of course, the fence was right in front of a under construction swimming pool. So tank falls right into there.
Yep.
Guy's pissed.
Yeah. But, and they're just all like giving football puns and crap the whole time because he comes out. He's like, game's not over, quarterback.
Yeah, it was like, it's only halftime.
Yeah.
It's
Halftime. Yeah, it's all real dumb.
But they get away from him because of this. And this is when they're like, all right, well, we need to get a car.
Yeah.
We need to get a car so we can get out of the city.
And they're like, okay, we got to run down to Budget.
Yeah, they're like, budget's down the street.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
Let's go there.
Yeah, and this is, they actually get to the city square where the thing is, where the big chemical truck is overturned, and it stops spewing yellow stuff, and it's just regular smoke now. And this is when the head security guy is like, we need to up the yellow.
Yeah.
I don't want these guys uptown seeing it and thinking that there's nothing wrong anymore.
Yeah, get some more yellow smoke grenades
so they
out
just
there.
start throwing yellow smoke grenades out.
Yep.
And then, they're like, all right, well, we got to get through this. Good thing there's smoke.
Yeah.
But Kinwall's like, is this stuff going to hurt us? And Matt Frewer's like, no.
No, I told you, it's fake.
Yeah, it's all fake.
Yeah.
It should also be noted that one thing I'll give Laura in this movie is, unlike, Holly McClane, who's just kind of sitting there waiting to get shot by terrorists, she's actually kind of investigating.
Yeah, because, a dude has come out from a stairwell wearing an EPA badge.
Well, even before that, when she was on the bus, she was driving by. They were driving by the chemicals spill, and there's, several dogs running around.
Yeah.
And
she's just looking at it while everyone's fucking on the party bus just drinking it up like, woohoo!
But yes, then she sees this guy with the EPA badge, just take his badge off and walk down this, and she's like, why did he take his badge off?
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she follows him down into the bowels of the building.
Yeah, she follows him after they have a conversation with some guy who's like, I don't know what he is, but he developed a spermicide.
Oh, right.
Yes, which,
he's like, I was a chemist.
All about,
I was a chemist before I was a CEO.
Yeah.
He's all about chemicals, and he's like, well, if this spill was this, even those dogs would be dead.
Yeah, those dogs would be
I
dead.
think it's fluorine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, the
He's
way
like,
dogs metabolize, they would be dead 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And she's like, time to investigate.
Yeah.
So, and then...
Yeah, because at this point, the chief of police has shown up.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, you're a little late, aren't you? And he's like, I live in fucking Burbank, man. Leave me alone. I can't afford to live in Beverly Hills. But they let him go to the hotel, and he's kind of busy talking to them, and he's in on this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
To which he does tell the guy, my wife really appreciates your spermicide.
Yes. He's like, good to hear you're having fun, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of, we haven't really talked about how quippy everyone is.
Yeah.
This is of the era where it's like, hey, you know that guy Shane Black? Do that.
Yeah.
Because everybody is a quippy motherfucker to everyone else.
Yep.
No matter what. No matter what situation, there has to be a quippy comeback to everything.
Yes.
So I just want to note that.
Sure, yeah. No,
that we're not covering a lot of that, but it's constant throughout the entire movie.
It is, yeah.
But she ends up following Robert Davi down to his dungeon basement area of the hotel.
Yeah. Overhears him talking to the fake EPA guy who basically tells him, I don't know, just go up there and act like you don't know what you're talking about. Then they'll think you're from the government. Yeah. To which that's exactly what he does, because he has this very awkward scene where the chief of police is Ferris Bueller's dad.
Yep.
And he's basically just like, so what are you doing? And he's like, you're probably cordoning off the area. And he's just like, yeah. Then we do the next thing. He's like, oh, you mean we'll just wait for the smoke to just he's basically just umming and ahhing his way into letting this dude
Okay, this scene pissed me off because it was it's clear that Ferris Bueller's dad is one step ahead of this guy. He's just he's feeding him all the answers. Oh, so you're doing this for cubic centimeter, how long will it dissipate in the atmosphere? 24 hours. And the guy's like, yeah, that's the ticket. 24 hours. Sure. And he's like, all right, good work. See you later. And it's just I really thought you were smarter than that. You were picking up on that guy's bullshit. And then you just all right, smell you later.
Yeah. And that is the last time we see him.
Yeah.
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 Is the police chief just gets to be an idiot.
Yeah.
And then he's gone from the rest of the movie.
pretty much, yeah.
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 But yeah, she's listening at the door to Robert Davi planning all this and talking to his computer guys and whatnot. So they get to the budget lot, Ken Wall and Matt Frewer. And somehow the cops have found them or seen them.
It's one city block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wherever anyone goes.
And there's cops everywhere.
Yeah.
There's 15,000 terrorists.
Yeah.
But they start blowing the fuck up out of these cars. All of the cars except for the one that they steal at Rolls.
Yeah.
And actually get away. But they're just, I don't even know what kind of weapon they were using. They were just blowing cars the fuck up willy-nilly.
They were just shooting. At
Yeah.
this point, it was just bullets, and
Yeah.
one car exploded, and then that spilled over to the other cars.
Okay.
So
But yeah, they peel off and stunt their way out with a Rolls Royce.
they do, yeah. And they
And
drive
they
over
drive to Robert DeVi's
house.
Yeah, because they're like, well, nobody's here, and I know where it is. I don't know. They have no idea he's in on this. They're just parked in his, they're just taking stock and trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do next.
Yeah.
And they have, giant fancy decanters of, I don't know, whiskey, bourbon, whatever the fuck it is.
In the rental car.
In-
Yeah, in a
rental
rental car.
Yeah.
I guess if you're going to rent a Rolls Royce, you expect copious amounts of liquor to be inside it
Yeah,
for when you're driving.
absolutely.
Yeah. But he's like, all right, hold on, I got to go back and like
BRB.
Matt Furr is just like, oh well, I guess when in Rome, you know, it just starts chugging these, chugging whatever it is.
He's monologuing to himself and doing jokes.
And Ken Wall's run off and like found a gas can at this guy's house. I don't know why.
Okay, so he comes out with some supplies that he kind of tosses into the back seat, and one thing he brings with him is a football. This football never comes into play.
Nope.
And that fucking pissed me off, because at some point I'm like, he's going to fill that football with gasoline and fucking throw it at somebody, and it's just going to explode. Now, there are plenty of other football-ish things that he does, but he brings out a fucking foot. Like, he purposely gathered this football and brought it out. And it just becomes like this... It's just another one of those dangling things of just like, oh man, this, and then that never happens. But this is a weird scene because like Matt Furr is just complaining about the cost of the car and how much his house costs. And Ken Wall is just like, man, I was on a date tonight. I was with a lady, and it's just like, you two don't have time for this. You need to fucking man up.
But
you
the
need
scene
to...
is in every movie.
I know,
like
but
this.
it's a weird place to put. I don't know. It just seems like they're not talking about what they should be talking about. They're just bitching about their day.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of ends up being like the only time that we get any real character development out of either of them. You know,
Ken
it's
Wall
the
is
time when
preparing the whole time he's talking.
Oh, sure,
to.
yeah.
Because he's dumping out the liquor and pouring in the gasoline and basically
Yeah.
making, you know, glass Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, but I think it's also the fact that they haven't really had time to say two words to each other because they've been running away from a fucking psychopath in a tank for the last half hour.
That is correct.
Even though on Robert Davi's clock, it appears that like 6 minutes have gone by.
Yeah.
Yeah, the time is very off in this world.
Right. At which soon after that, he's like, all right, forget it. Step up the timetable. Because...
Well, yeah, once he learns that there's 2 loose cannons out there.
Yes.
As he says.
And he said, we've wasted 19 minutes of productivity chasing those 2 motherfuckers around, so just skip ahead. And that's when, what's-her-name, she hears the bulk of that, and then is turning to run away, but because she's wearing lady shoes, it's just clanging down this metal hallway.
Well, yeah, she also hears, like, a Boomer gets on the mic on the walkie-talkie because he took one from one of the guys he killed.
Man, okay, so it's so great when the henchman tells Robert DeVee who it is. He's just like, it's number 12, and it's just like he just freezes, and the music goes, and you're just like, oh man, he's gonna be fucking pissed. Yeah, and then he's just like, get those 2 loose cannons out of here.
Yeah, but
So we got a loose cannon. We got a 2 loose cannons.
We've never had 2 loose cannons.
Yeah. But yeah, Boomer takes the opportunity to talk some shit at him over the thing.
He's like, I always knew you were a piece of shit.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't care what you think of me. You're never getting out of this city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he tries to. He's like, yeah, man, you lay down and you play ball with us. Like, you know, you'll never have to worry about another contract or your ankle or anything ever again. He's like, fuck you, and like hangs over. I don't know.
Or just on walkie-talkies, clicks off the walkie-talkie dramatically.
Right.
Yeah, but then he
turns
tells,
off the squelch.
Yeah, it's when he tells the other guy, he's like, all right, make sure you kill him. That's when she's like, oh shit, and runs away, and he hears her, and has to chase her through these hallways.
Yep.
Even though she's wearing high heels the whole time, which I mean,
bad.
Not to get all Jurassic World on it, but take the high heels off, lady.
Yeah, you probably should.
Like, especially when you're trying to sneak around.
Yeah.
Well, this whole scene is funny because it keeps seeming like she's going to get away because like he asks for a gun and then like guy goes like, your gun. He's like, no, it's a stun gun.
Yeah.
Which is like the old stun baton. Like, you know, it's not like, you know, we didn't have like the taser guns back then or whatever.
Yeah. Shock stick.
Yeah. So like he's chasing her like sort of like he's just kind of moseying to catch her and she's running frantically and he catches up with her at one point and then like has an asthma attack. And then she's just like, "Oh well, I'm gonna escape now," and turns and goes through this door, and immediately like there's a railing there down into like these death fans. So like she stumbles and like almost falls over, and then shuts the door behind her. And then her plan is,
this is a staple of every large hotel, by the way.
Yeah, to have this spinning death fans,
giant spinning death fans,
yeah.
that you can just literally
with minimal
stumble into.
railing above, them.
Right.
But
OSHA failed.
She takes off like the scarf thing or whatever she was wearing and throws it into the fan, and then apparently like Jungle Jim down underneath the walkway and it's just hanging there. So Robert DeVee walks in, sees the scarf, and is like, "Oh well, I guess that sucks or blows." I don't know which way the fans were going, but and then just like, all right, well I guess she's dead, and then turns and you know we see her hanging underneath, and then she just with very little effort, just climbs back up. I'm like, wow, good on you for not skipping upper body on the gym days, Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. But she, goes through the door and is just creeping down the hallway, and Robert V is like sneaks up right behind her, and it's just like, hey, zap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So.
And she wakes up in a bed like literally 45 seconds later.
And then they have like lots of puns. Like, I always knew there was some electricity behind it between us.
Yeah, they're both doing it to each other. And you're just like, the fuck are you two doing?
Why are you playing along with his puns?
Yeah, she says, what's 120,000 volts between friends?
Yeah.
It's just like, what?
Yeah.
It's just like, you two stop it.
Yeah.
At least she finally stops, and just like every time he says something, she's like, fuck you. Like at a certain point, she's just like, everything he says, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so back in the roles in Robert V's yard, basically. So there's something I want to point out about this movie that's really strange, is that occasionally language has been dubbed over, but not to where it was like, let's make this PG-13 or anything. It's just, for some reason, there are certain times when they dub over very explicit language with something stupid.
This was that time period where they instituted NC-17, and there was probably some dumb rule. It was like, oh, you said fuck too many times, we're going to make it NC-17.
Maybe.
I mean, seriously, like, this was right around that time period where they came up with that rating.
But here's what I started to pick up on, was that whenever there was language that was besmirching the good name of Beverly Hills, they would dub over that. So instead of saying like fucking Beverly Hills, they would say fabulous Beverly Hills, or it was weird. Like whenever it was supposed to be about something in the city, they would dub over the language.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this was also one of those movies where like the dubbing was very clear.
Yes.
Yeah. Because there are certain lines like where someone's running away, and then like the line in between the other two lines was like, that's a different session completely.
Yeah.
Like nobody mastered it at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, they're just like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's just go.
Their plan, granted, he's a football quarterback, so this makes sense. But their plan is just to drive up to cop barricades and throw Molotov cocktails at them.
Yeah, they drive to the main barricade.
Heavily armed, like cop barricades.
Yeah, and they just
Like,
kind of.
these men have machine guns, not just like your service revolver.
No.
These guys are like, all right,
Yeah, they're armed.
We're armed.
Yeah. So they drive up to the main one and throw one, and like a couple dudes jump out of the way. But then, Alexander Goodenough shows up in his, his machine gunned Nissan truck.
Yeah, there's a lot of Nissan trucks with machine guns on the back.
So they toss one into the back of that truck, which almost sets that dude on
Hold
fire.
on, before that, like I have to point out Matt Frewer's fantastic line when they're getting back in the car. They're like, "We're gonna go do this." He goes, "Man, I can't wait to see the look on their faces when we die."
Yes, that is the one. That is the one thing he says in this movie that legit hits. Like, there's a lot of jokes where it's just like, "Dude, shut up."
Yeah.
But yes, I can't wait to see their faces when we die.
At least he recognizes their plan is really stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they keep going back to it.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Because they light him on fire, and he's like, he gets his ticket to Burning Man and jumps off, and his legs are all on fire,
Yeah.
and they put him out with very handy fire extinguishers.
They have everything they need.
Yeah, they are the most prepared city heist team
They're
ever.
the Boy Scouts of heists.
but they take off after them, and he chucks one on this cop car that just it explodes on the hood, but
Yeah.
then like they hit the bottom of that car with a ram, and that thing fucking flips and blows up.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's another one that just gets ramped up over something else because they threw a Molotov at it.
But I think it's at this point like they've kind of like gone around like just fucking with people, like throwing these Molotovs, and it's like, I don't know what your plan is. But then Branscombe is like, fuck this shit, hand me my flamethrower.
Yeah.
He gets on the back of it like one of those EPA like 4x4s, probably a Jeep Renegade, and
Yep.
and is like driving around with this flamethrower like he's the fucking like guy from Mad Max, just like
The Doof Warrior.
yeah. Like it's literally just like it doesn't have an off button.
No, it's just once you fire it, that's it. So, like, they drive into a parking garage, and Ken Wall's just like, we don't have anything left. I'm just going to dump this gasoline. And he's just spraying gasoline everywhere. So as they're driving by with this flamethrower on full blast, everything's getting lit on fire,
yeah.
including like their helper police car buddies.
And they're driving on a rim because their back right tire has been shot out completely, so they're throwing sparks everywhere already.
That's also because like at some point they perfectly hit a van and ramped and jumped a ridiculously long distance in this
That's right.
giant heavy ass Rolls
Yeah.
Royce. Which I like that between one Molotoving of the police barricades to the other one, they're like, somebody tell me if you see that Rolls Royce. There's that fucking Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Like there's this like somebody gives there's one dude like at one of the dirty cops at one of the barricades who's just like really into his line reads.
Yeah.
And he's just like, there's that fucking Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
But yes, it ended up in a parking garage, and he is just flamethrowing the walls of this parking garage for like no good reason.
No, he can't turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fucks up one of the cop cars
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
ends up crashing in front of him because
Yeah.
he lit it on fire.
Yeah. He's like the dude in Grandma's Boy. Just can't stop going. It's just
Yep. But eventually they get to the top, and he's lit their hood on fire. And Matt Frewer's like, I can't see anything.
the car's on fire.
They blow through the wall on the top of this parking garage.
Yep.
And apparently land on the building next to it, to which the car promptly stops.
Yep.
But then falls through the roof.
Yep.
And then
they're sitting there and they're like, and the car starts shaking again. And you're like, is there another level to this? I sure hope so. They fall through another level and end up in a sushi restaurant.
Right. Yes.
Like a fancy one of those fancy ass sushi restaurants with the little floating trays and everything.
Quite fancy. It's also at this point both the sprinkler system comes on and the car explodes.
Yeah. Well, that's because the car doesn't explode until Branscombe like comes around the corner and like opens the door, and they're hiding, like they go hide in the bathroom or
well,
something.
the thing is, when they get out, they try and put the fire out first.
Yes.
They do. Yeah.
Matt Frewer's like, with the
sprinkler
fire extinguisher.
system on,
Yeah.
and this is not what you need to be concentrating
It's like-
on.
No, like fuck
Dude,
that car.
You've lost your priorities. I mean, I know it was a nice car until you guys got a hold of it, but
Yes.
Car was clean before they
yeah.
arrived.
But yeah, so they hide in the back room. Branscombe comes in and sees the car blow up.
Right.
Yeah, and immediately radio's like, oh, they're toast.
Yeah.
The quarterback is
toast.
It just came. Yeah. It just popped in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, but they all immediately assume. They're just like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
man,
they're-
he
he's
fucking,
dead.
hey, boss, he fucking blew up. That's it,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Game
he's dead.
over. Let me collect my bonus
Yeah,
now.
they're like, number 12's been eliminated. Or does he say number 12's been sacked?
No, something like that.
Or was that us?
Yeah, I think it was us.
That might
Yeah.
have been us.
Yeah.
Nice
Quarterback's been
catch,
sacked.
Blanco Nino.
Yeah. Too bad your ass got exploded. Huh.
Yep.
But yeah, so they're just like, yep, they're clearly dead. Bye. And they leave.
And then he comes back out and is still trying to extinguish the car. It's like,
Yeah.
it's over, dude.
Yeah,
All
do
the
it.
gas is gone.
Let it go.
Just let it
Meanwhile,
go.
Ken Wall has seen on the wall that there is a display of.
Oh, Ken Wall. So like Wall?
Yes, he saw on the
It's similar
wall.
to Wall.
Yeah, I've heard that. But yes,
Sorry.
I've read the IMDb trivia too.
Yeah.
It's all the dumbest trivia entry in the history of dumb trivia entries, which I encourage any listeners to go look up on IMDb, and you will know which one it is when it discusses walls.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yes.
yes, he picks up a display of ninja stars, a tasteful display of ninja stars
Right,
from the
and-
wall.
And carefully carries it out of this building into a separate building.
Yes.
Because they're running around trying to find another place to hide.
He's like, oh, the door's open.
They're running down the street and they're just like, in here, this door's open. So they go in there.
Like, guys, all the doors are open. They've been
Yeah,
ransacking this
They've been
place.
ransacking and blowing up every building they get near.
Yeah. So they go inside and he's just like, I'm going to smash this and start collecting these. And he's like, ow, they're pointy. And so he smashes another display and gets a purse out of it and just loads up this
Yeah.
purse.
And Frewer's like, why do you need a purse? And he's like, carry these ninja stars.
And then on the way out, hands it to Matt Frewer to carry.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they get outside, and he's just like,
It's not long.
yeah.
Well, he whiffs on the first one because this cop car comes up and he's like, I'm going to ninja star. It just ends up twang into the door,
Into
and it's
the
like,
door.
oh,
Yeah.
well, that didn't work. And
Yeah.
then it's like, well, I just need one practice throw because after that, it's like ninja star to the head, ninja star to the head,
No, there's
ninja
one
star
guy,
to the head.
There's one guy shooting, there's one guy driving, and the other guy's shooting out of the car.
Yep.
And he goes, and then they cut to the guy coming back into the car going, ah! Holding his hand because it's got a ninja.
Yeah, you just didn't want to. You whiffed on the first one. Yeah.
Sticking out of
He's
this
warm up.
guy's hand, and somehow this guy is screaming about his hand.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
This guy's screaming about his hand having a ninja star in it causes the driver to flip the car and crash it.
Yeah.
Like we're really underselling the stunt spectacular nature of this movie.
It's unbelievable. I
Yeah,
mean,
it really
it's,
is.
you know, I mean, it makes more sense once you realize they just blew up a styrofoam city, but it sure as hell looks good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
But yeah, he's ninja starring dudes and eventually just runs out, I guess.
Yeah, he's
But I mean, they are like he's ninja starring drivers, and the cars are literally flipping over them.
Yeah.
Like, because they're like hiding behind a column, and then, and you just see this car careen over them. And there's one where it's rolling behind them
Yeah.
into the building, and it's the two actors. I'm almost positive.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, you guys.
Well, it looked like they killed Matt Frewer in that first initial, like the SWAT tank going through his house.
Yeah.
Because like it looked like he got tagged by the door as it came exploding off the wall.
Yeah.
Like bad.
Yeah.
But
Movie magic.
Yeah.
He's okay.
probably. If not, he's.
I believe he's okay.
If
I've
not,
seen him.
If not, he'll become a computer hologram with just his head.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's not long after this that just Matt Frewer straight up gets shot.
Yeah, because at this point, Branscombe is just like, fuck you guys. And he's got, it looks like kind of like a shotgun.
Yeah.
But it's firing like extremely long distances and hitting. Because he's like shooting stuff behind them. And eventually he shoots Matt Frewer, who just, him
both-
getting shot tackles Ken Wall,
Yeah.
which defenestrates them both through a window.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
And so they're laying on the ground, and we know that Ken Wall's still alive, of
Right.
course, and he's faking, and that's when the shady security guy from the beginning is like, "We got him this time.
I'm gonna go make sure.
Yeah. I made this little something special for you.
Like he's like, I've been waiting to use this all night.
Yeah.
He's literally got like a little C4 pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
he
just-
goes, "Now your nickname's really gonna make sense, Boomer."
Yeah.
Tosses this on the ground. Of course, he wakes up and like we all called it, like except for the fact that he doesn't say anything. But he wakes up. This good dude is like, well, that's all I need to do is drop this 20-second bomb in here and take off in my car. And he
Casually
takes off in his car. And like, of course, Ken Wall stands up, grabs this thing, and it's just like looks at the seconds ticking down. And I guess he's like waiting for the timer to be the certain amount of time,
Yeah.
Right.
Because he, Hail Marys it into the back of this guy's truck, which he's like, "You son of a bitch!"
Yeah, he goes, "Boomer!"
Yep.
and his truck explodes.
Yep. Yeah, and it's at this point that Ken Wall has picked up Matt Frewer and is just hauling him down the street because Matt Frewer is dead. I mean, that guy's dead.
Yeah. and Branscombe's like, "Boomer!"
Yeah.
Because he tried to radio the other guy, and he's like, "What happened?"
Yeah.
And he saw the explosion.
It's like, oh, you killed my friend. Fucking fourth quarter time
And
now.
just real quick, speaking of explosions, I like that at one point there's a cop who's like, "It's EPA testing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't mind all the
Oh,
explosions."
yeah, we're just testing
Yeah.
testing the chemicals. Don't worry about all these explosions.
Yeah.
And the cops are like, yeah, that makes sense.
That seems like a thing the EPA would do.
Checks
yeah.
out, yeah. I saw him do it on TV
Yeah.
once.
It's the Explosive Protection Agency, right? Yeah.
But Branscombe knows that it's not the EPA making that explosion.
No.
It was goddamn Ken Wall.
Yeah.
And he's just stalking down the street, and
He's down to like he has one of those like collapsible baton things, but
Yeah.
with a knife on the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like he's just like walking towards him and it goes, and like he's right behind him. Like he could have easily gotten the jump on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, he's just like boomer.
Yeah.
And like hits the button and this thing extends out. And so he's
Yeah.
like,
And it gives Ken Wall the opportunity to put dead Matt Frewer down on the ground.
and then he's like,
"Say something, you son of a bitch."
Yeah.
man, like I had a rough day. Did you see that play I made? And he's like, I don't watch football.
Yeah. I
And so
hate
what-
football.
Yeah, and so like when he like putting Matt Frewer down, he's like there's just convenient giant rock sitting there. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess there would be a lot of rubble after all
Yes.
this, but he just like picks it up and like turns and like in one shot just goes whop, like right between the eyes and clocks this dude and he goes like, I hate guys who hate football.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's how he takes him out.
Yeah.
That's what kills him. A rock to the face.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see him for a second kind of do the like, I'm going to get back up. No, dead.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you're waiting for the rest of the movie for the Alexander Goodenough bit where he
Nope.
shows back up during the, the paramedic finale. No, he's fucking dead. That's it for him.
Yeah. And meanwhile, with Robert Davi's storyline, he's taken her, and he's been taking her the whole time. He's like put her in the back of the ambulance that they're taking out to his house.
Yes.
Which the final phase was the wall.
Right.
Yeah, he had some mural thing that was like
Yeah.
super like
Well-
worth $1 billion apparently.
Yeah, well,
in his lobby.
Throughout the whole movie, you've seen this crew outside of the Beverly Hills bank, and they've been just working on opening this outer wall of the bank. And you're like, okay, they're going to break through the wall and get all the money. Well, they finally cut it open and get it out and pull it back on a truck and spin the wall around, and you see it's this mural. And the cop is just like, man, I've never been this close to $1 billion before. So,
And their plan is they're going to take this thing, which belongs to Robert Davi anyway, by
Yeah.
the way.
yes.
And bury it in his own yard. Like he has a pre-planned, like dug up area with like fake grass and boarding and everything that he's going to pour this thing up under his own yard,
Yeah.
and then claim the insurance on it.
Yeah. Because he keeps he's taunting what's her name.
Detailing his whole plan to
Yeah.
Laura the whole time.
And he's like, I'm disappointed that you haven't figured out exactly what I'm doing. She's like, I don't know. You're evil and dumb.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, well, okay, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to get all the insurance for this. And
He's
she's
like,
just
or you know what? I'll just make him a bargain that they can make me the CEO of your dad's insurance company, and
Yeah.
they don't have to pay me a dime.
yeah. And,
Be a bargain for them.
and she's just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they go inside, and he's just like,
Oh, he also said he's basically like, so you're gonna marry me, right? And
Yeah.
she's like, excuse me, what the fuck?
yeah.
And
He's like, I told
what
you
did
everything.
What did he just say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Spouse can't testify against their husband.
and she's basically like, so it's the marriage altar or my funeral?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, pretty much. And she's like, just so I know my options, exactly how would you kill me? And he just casual, like he's got ornamental weapons all over the wall.
Yep.
And he walks over and just elbows this one, and he's got the fucking Joffrey crossbow.
Yep.
From Game of Thrones. He's like, I'm going to crossbow you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just-
right through the heart.
Right to
Yeah.
the heart.
just like you did me.
And she's like, gulp. And then she's just basically like, just go ahead and do it. Because I'm never going to marry your dumbass.
Yeah.
And
Which, at this point, is when Ken Wall and Matt Frewer...
but Matt Frewer's alive, by the way.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I was wearing that bulletproof
Yeah.
vest.
80 yard in.
80 yard in.
Yes, they're running away because he's bleeding from whatever wound he's gotten.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's,
Yeah,
he's
they
just
they do eat him.
yeah.
Yeah, he does get the Dewey big time.
Yeah.
But they put them in the SWAT van.
Yeah. Because
To
they
which-
pulled it out of the pool.
Yeah.
And it's been lurking around. They used it to pull the wall off the bank.
But they use this to rampage over, like, through his fountain,
Yeah, fuck his
up
yard.
into his front door.
Yes. Right into the entryway.
Yep.
And then I love that, like, one guy's like, I got this, and goes running at the tank, and then, again, just another, like, clang as he
Yep.
opens the door into this
Yep.
dude's face.
Yep.
I want to be, I don't want to be that guy. I just, like, I want to be somewhere, sometime where there's that guy, like, I've got this, I'll fight the tanks single-handedly. Clang.
Yep.
Like, you fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they come in, and they both, Robert Davi and Ken Wall talk some shit at each other for a second, and Davi fires the crossbow, and Ken Wall dodges it.
Yeah, he just kind of ducks, and you just see
Well,
this
'cause this
arrow just gingerly
Yeah.
go.
I was going to say,
Because this
'cause
thing's, like, ancient.
I was going to say, it comes out like a fucking Nerf gun. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like a Matrix move. It was
Yeah.
just like, oh, that was lame.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like when the rubber band is too big for your rubber band gun, and it kind of
Yeah.
shoots, but it just goes.
check out this man Bolt over here.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
they just get in a kind of boring tackle fight.
Yeah, they do just kind of start rolling around for a little bit.
It's kind of
Yeah.
a realistic fight in
It
that
is.
regard, in that it's just like you're just grabbing the guy and you don't want him
Except Robert Davi's kind of winning by choking him.
Oh,
to
yeah.
which-
to... Oh, yeah, eventually he gets
because
him.
all right, so he also has one of those fancy like air compress like
Wine
wine
bottle
bottle
openers.
things.
Yeah.
And so like he had done that like when he was like, oh, you're going to marry me and all this stuff. And you see Ken Wall like reach over behind him and grab this thing and basically jam it into his lungs and hit the button.
he does hit the button,
So
which is,
you're psst, and it's
I
like,
guess, extra kills a dude with asthma. Is that what the asthma thing was all about? Because I think it would kill me too.
it probably would.
Yeah. So the whole fucking asthma thing had nothing to do with anything.
Well, it probably didn't help. Like
It was poetic justice.
yeah,
Okay.
Sure, right?
sure, yeah,
Yeah, but it's just like the second death in a row at the end of this movie. You're just like, wait, that's it? That's
Yeah.
what you did?
Yep. But then he just kind of takes her and kisses her.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, been
We got 2 hours
yeah,
left.
we got 2 hours left, and
A couple more hours left
Yeah.
on her contract.
I'm just thinking she's got to be like, man, you smell like gasoline and ninja stars.
And you've got blood all over you from Matt Frewer, who is not injured at all somehow.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's just like, I gotta turn myself in. I can't live with this. And Ken Wall's just like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, everyone who knew about it's dead.
Yeah, we killed all of them.
He's like, how about this? You know where they stashed everything? He's like, yeah, I have some pretty good ideas. And he's like, you know how much money insurance will pay to get the property back? And he's like, you always talked about being rich, right? Mm-hmm. Get this fucker out of here.
Yeah. Yep.
Because, and then there's like over the credits sequence where he's having his come play with Boomer days with the kids, and Matt Frewer drives up in a vet or something, and
Yeah.
it's just like,
And all the kids
they're
attack
like,
him, and-
go get him. And
Yeah.
he's like, no,
not me. Yeah, it ends abruptly.
it does.
He's just like, nah, get out. He
Hey.
killed that guy.
All the bad people are dead.
Yeah.
Move on.
Also, you saw the actual LAPD rolling in too, arresting everybody.
Yeah.
So
They're like, we got this.
yeah,
Yeah, the movie's over.
sure is.
Yeah. No Stargroves, but man, if there was a song in 1990, it's probably in this movie.
The soundtrack is awesome.
Yeah, and it's Jan Hammer does the score, but I could not tell you where the score shows up
It's
because
so much
action
licensed
scenes are
music,
cued
yeah.
to like Janet Jackson's Black Cat, which
Yeah.
I have not thought about in 25 years, even though that song was literally everywhere in
Yeah.
1990 and 1991.
And that song fucking rules, and it's used well here.
Yep.
Yeah,
there's
it's
there's
used
Faith
during
no
the
More, Faith
garage
No More's
chase.
epic.
Yes.
That
That
was
works.
awesome. Yeah,
was that during the Ninja Star scene?
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely during the stunt spectacular at the end where the cars were flipping around and
Yeah.
crashing into buildings and shit. Oh man. Yeah, I
But-
mean
but
it's
no
a
Stargrove.
no Stargrove, but special mention, that's a fucking killer soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like especially of that era. How did this movie get that soundtrack? Like how?
I don't know.
You're asking me?
I'm
Well,
just-
it was an MGM movie. Maybe they were all on the MGM music license.
I don't know.
You know, like sometimes they're allowed to do that.
It's
Easier.
It's weird. But yeah, it's a banger of a soundtrack. So
Yeah.
no Stargrove. Ratings.
However, actual ratings.
Yeah.
I can go.
Okay.
Go for it.
5 jocks. I mean, it's a fucking no-brainer. I mean, there is so much shit that explodes in this goddamn movie.
Yep.
I mean, I think we talked about enough about it. It's a fucking 5 jockser.
Okay.
I mean, it's got dangling plot problems, but I don't care. Shit exploded. And you know what? And then when I was tired of shit exploding, more shit exploded.
That's true. Then
Yeah.
the shit exploded.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, I can't defend it other than, like, it's fucking awesome. And it's stupid at times, and it's weird, and it's got some broken dangling threads that don't go anywhere, but I don't give a shit.
It's our brand of stupid.
It really is.
It's like so earnest in like just being like, you know what? We're just doing a bunch of crazy shit,
And honestly-
and stunts. They're going to happen. We might not even explain why the hell they're happening,
Yeah.
but there are stunts happening.
And,
People,
and honestly, this might be the best Die Hard knockoff movie I've ever seen. I'm not joking. Like, I mean, I've seen ones with 3, 4, 5 times the budget that weren't as good as this. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, Under Siege is like sucks compared to this. Like,
Yes.
sucks
Yes.
ass. I mean,
Yes.
plus it's Steven Seagal, so it sucks even more ass. But I'm just saying, like, I've seen so many Die Hard knockoffs. This is one of the craziest ones I've ever seen. And man, if you're a fan of like the stupid, I don't even know what you want to call it. It's not Chekhov's gun, but it's like Chekhov's skill. The gymnastics in Lost World, like that, like where it's just like, hey, this guy plays football. How many dumb football things can we make him do to get out of these situations?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of them.
Yeah. It's like it always comes up and it's always effective.
Yeah, and the only time he shoots a gun is like when he's in the back of the car.
Oh, and he's just shooting it wrong. He's
Yeah.
like shooting through the ceiling.
Yeah, it's when dudes. It's in the parking garage when he's getting flamethrowered to death. He's just
Yeah.
like, all right, we're out of gas. I got the gun, and then just starts firing it like an idiot. Like I can't stop shooting it.
Yeah. It's definitely a bad movie, but it's a fucking great bad movie. It is the epitome of what we want.
Yep. I went back and forth between a 4 and a 5 because, and the 4 is solely because the deaths are kind of and it's also like a lot of the action scenes are the same action scene. Like they're gonna drive up and throw a Molotov at somebody and then get chased away. But you know what? That scene's pretty fucking good. And them getting chased by a tank and just having full houses, detonate behind them.
Yeah,
Like not explode, detonate. just yeah, it's a 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go with 5 because we were just like laughing with glee at some of the dumb and that dude getting taken out by the dummy by the Alzado dummy.
Yeah.
The way that dude gets knocked out that window is one of the more painful looking defenestrations we've seen, and it's great.
Plus, there's flamethrower face. Like I don't think we've ever had flamethrower face, but there's a point where he's like, he's hitting his stride where it's like, I'm not taking my finger off this flamethrower trigger, and it's just like, argh!
Yep.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, I went back and forth too between 4 and a 5, and the dangling plot holes really, really, really bug me, like more than they should. But if I really think about it, any two things in this movie, if they were in any other movie, we would be like, oh man, 5 jocks. Mm-hmm. A house exploding and driving that thing through one wall, let alone 37 walls, would be like, oh man, fuck this is exactly what we want, 5 jocks. Well, it happens 1,800 times in this movie, and they blow up a fake Rodeo Drive that I could have sworn was the actual Rodeo Drive. So, yeah, 5 jocks. It's big and loud and dumb, and the soundtrack fucking rocks. And
special award to Ken Wall's mullet.
It fucking sachets all over the place when he's running. Like 75% of his hair doesn't move.
Even when it's wet from the jacuzzi, it still looks great.
Yeah. That's a fucking mullet right there. It's real good.
It kind of makes me want like Ken Wall in more movies like this.
Yeah.
But this is kind of the only one,
yeah.
really.
I mean, there's another Ken Wall movie that we're going to do here shortly. So,
yeah.
Welcome to the show, Ken Wall. Now we will complete your filmography. But, yeah, just as far as, like, he didn't do a lot.
Yeah, it's just a shame as far as, like, the actual making of the movie. It was made in 1989 for Orion, and then Orion just went to shit somehow.
Yeah.
And they didn't, and I think it was Columbia eventually bought it and released it in 1991. Mm-hmm. And like nobody saw it whatsoever.
Yeah. And that's insane. Yeah. I mean, that, like Harlow was saying, this is, you look at all the Die Hard knockoffs, and this one is just like, not only was it a year after Die Hard, which means, man, they struck when the iron was hot.
Yeah.
They fucking had the budget to go all out and do something rad. I mean, it's kind of the antithesis of Die Hard in that Die Hard is an amazingly well thought out, plotted movie, and this is just dumb point A to point B bullshit. But if you just want shit blowing up and a bad guy and a good guy doing whatever it takes to get shit done, this is your movie right here. So.
I also appreciate just how much overacting there is, like on the bad guy side.
Yeah,
like, there's just so many dudes just like, this is my moment.
Yeah, they're all 100% in on this scheme, and it almost works. Yep. It's so well coordinated. It's like the 90s version of the not White House Down, but the other one, Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah.
It's almost that level of plot of just like, this is fucking insane. Like, you have 800 contingencies set up for this. It's insane. So
I mean, just think about it. You got like dudes blowing up, and then you have dudes getting killed with ninja stars. In the same movie.
Yes, and only because the dude who's throwing the ninja stars is a quarterback. That's the only reason they are so effective and accurate, is because he's a quarterback. Like, you can just fucking throw anything. Watch this, man. I've never seen these before. But I do appreciate that he never gets good with a gun.
He's a shuriken wall.
God fucking damn it.
That's break-worthy.
Yeah, let's take a break.
I had the episode title, and now I have to change it.
What was it?
Well, it was going to be The Quarterback is Toast. But that's the...
I like The Quarterback is Toast. It's pretty good.
No, this is better.
That's what made me snort. It's just easy to do when I'm as congested as I am.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
you gonna go John Cena it up?
I don't do that.
Fine.
So you got anything besides mute?
I do.
I got one. Four? Jesus. We're just gonna skip
maybe
emails this week.
Maybe 3.
We're just gonna.
We
skip
got an hour. We got an hour. We're good here.
No. There has been a request not to do that email.
I saw that. Yeah. Hey guys, forget that email.
Wait a week.
Yeah. Next week.
We can do that.
When BJ's there.
Will he be though?
All right, I mean, shit, those movies I don't want to talk about. One, two, three.
What?
Three. Counting how many movies I've talked about. I have to talk about, and it's.
I have three, but I think one of them is shared by all of us.
He did not see.
I
it.
did not get to watch it.
So it's just you and me. So
Okay.
yeah,
I thought I would have time this week, and it sat on the paused on the Netflix logo for 3 days because work turned into a shit show for no fucking reason, other than people don't know how to plan anything. But you know how that goes.
I do.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Relube here.
Jen officially has a job, so that's good.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, starts Monday.
Here's it.
Provided she passes the drug test she has to take tomorrow or Friday.
well, I hope
But
she stopped doing that
considering
crack.
Yeah, considering she's never done a single drug in her entire life.
Yeah,
that you know of.
yeah.
No, she's really weird about that. She barely even drinks.
Yeah. Is it the job the good job? The
Yeah.
job she wanted? Okay.
Yeah, the job that will be a raise. So, I got myself a sugar mama.
I still love how every job takes 8 months to secure.
Yeah,
8 months.
yeah. She's been working on this since the first week of December.
Yeah.
Was when she first met with the,
Yeah.
first heard about it. I guess I should say.
And I'll never understand it because, like, in my department, when we're down a person, it is fucking chaos. We're just like,
Well,
if you don't get another person in here,
There was one she was offered that wasn't enough money, but it was job posting Wednesday. She applied Thursday. They interviewed her Friday, and they made her an offer the following Friday.
damn,
That's
that's
crazy.
unheard of.
That's crazy.
That never happens.
Yeah.
When I was let go from the newspaper, I literally got a call on my way walking out to my car. Went in and interviewed the next day, and they offered me the job the next day. Like it was like that was the shortest I've ever been unemployed in my life.
Yeah.
It was bizarre. I was like, what are you doing work wise right now? I was like, would you believe I'm walking to my car after having been let go?
Well,
Yeah. That actually happened to me as well when I got my job at the newspaper.
Yeah.
when you were walking in,
I'd been fired from not really fired, but it was you can't fire me, I quit type
Right.
thing. Where I went into the office and I'm like, what are we doing about my insurance? I need insurance. The fuck's going on? And he's like, nah, I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to do that for you. And I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing.
yeah. Guess what? I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
going to do for you.
Yeah,
Work.
I'm not going to work for you anymore.
Not gonna work here anymore.
Yeah.
But I had already been applying for jobs because like this is a shit show, and once someone if ever, it's different now, but if anyone's ever jerking you around about insurance, like
Yeah. Oh,
you know that you're not getting insurance, especially if it's small business.
Right.
Fuck them. Get
Right.
out of there as quick as you can.
Yep.
But yeah, I
Pro tips.
literally got home. I lived like 3 minutes away from there, and got home and my phone rang like as I was getting out of my car, which was the interview for the time. And they're like, "Hey, when can we schedule a time?" I'm like, "How about today?"
I'm free.
Guess what? I'm off today.
Yeah.
I'm off for the rest of the few weeks. But
Like I was literally pushing the cart to my car with my shit. It was
Yeah.
like phone is ringing.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fucking
Woe is
weird.
me. What?
yeah, it's so weird. But yeah, I interviewed that day, and then the only reason it took them 3 weeks was they're like, "All right, we got to do paperwork and shit, and we don't want you on this pay period." So I was like, "All right, whatever, man." But yeah, had a job that paid a lot more money than that other shitty job I had quit. Jobs are weird.
They are.
Of course, nowadays it sucks.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if you're in Gen X, you're fucked.
Yep.
Because they only want to hire people who are straight out of college or like senior level everything. And if you're anywhere in the middle, you're like, there's like 10 jobs. Hope you're qualified for this one because everybody on Earth is fighting for it. That's your age.
Yeah. And the thing I like best is how we ebb and flow in the realm of all jobs require a degree.
Yeah.
Like, and now we're suddenly in the marketplace of like every job requires a degree. Doesn't matter if it's related to the job or not. Just like you have to have a piece of paper from a college.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm fucking 43 over here. I didn't know this 25 years ago.
Yeah, that.
And 20 years ago, you didn't need the piece of paper. Like at my job, they've started retroactively coming to people and saying, you know, if you want to keep this job, you should probably get a degree. Like, what the fuck am I going to do that?
Yeah.
No.
With what money?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
It's become a very weird place because, like, problem is, too, like, the old people aren't retiring.
No, they
so,
can't.
So, like, the people our age can't take their jobs that we would have taken.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, fucking old people.
Yes.
For real. Like, just...
Fuck off.
You had every advantage in the world, and you still can't retire. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah. The worst generation, am I right? I'm right.
You're not wrong. Granted, there are some in the 1500s that would probably rival them.
Yeah. Yeah.
For being shitty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys want to talk about some movies?
Yeah.
Why not?
Let's
do a second half.
Let's do it, man.
Okay.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
All right, and welcome back.
Hey.
Ooh, it's a more sedate second half.
Hey. Ninth anniversary chat.
We have some movies to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about movies.
Where do we want to start? I guess with the newest movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right, so Chuck and I watched a little Netflix, well, what became a little Netflix venture called Mute.
Mute.
No.
The follow-up, Duncan Jones, well, I don't know, follow-up to... All right, it's set in the Moon universe.
Absolutely
but he's made a couple other movies in between.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Not getting the best reviews by and large.
Nope.
Definitely not.
I will just say this. I thought the movie was really good. It's not Moon.
No, it isn't.
But everyone is entitled to their opinion, so maybe I'm projecting a little bit, but I feel like this is one of those cases where people confuse subject matter with quality of movie, and it's like, do you know if it's really a bad movie, or does it make you uncomfortable? Because there's plenty in this movie to make you uncomfortable, and like to me, that's like that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. Like there's a difference between poorly made movie and a subject matter that you are either uncomfortable with or not interesting to you.
Well, yeah, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's bad.
Right. Yeah, and part of me questions that because it's like I feel like people are being like I am to something like The Master, where it's like I can look at it and go, obviously that's a masterfully made movie, no pun intended, but I don't ever want to see it ever again in my life. Yeah. And this is not that level of filmmaker either, I don't think. Yeah, it is a strange like water cooler pitch for this movie. I mean, I think because like I think it's one of those things like it's also one of those things like if someone goes, well, what is that movie about? And someone does the 2 or 3 sentence water cooler pitch, you're like, well, that sounds fucking stupid. I'm gonna go watch that with that in my head, and I'm never gonna overcome that.
Yeah.
So,
see, I managed to avoid everything about this. Like, all I needed to know was Duncan Jones maybe in the Moon universe, and was just like, yeah, I'll watch that. That sounds good to me.
All I still know is that Paul Rudd's in it, and there's an Amish mute guy.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going into it completely cold, and really all I knew was that everyone was just shitting on it. I came away from it and was like, okay, storyline wise, beat for beat, I think this movie is kind of a mess. It doesn't it doesn't connect the dots like it should. Like there's a revelation in the movie, I'll say, where it's just like it took me about 5 minutes to really realize, wait, that's what we're doing? That's what this is? That's what's happened here? That doesn't seem right, because it doesn't seem to fit the characters that we've been presented with. It's just the thing that the movie wants to have come together at the end doesn't feel like it clicks. I get where it was going, and by the end of it, I'm like all right with it, but it just never feels like it gels the way it should. And I don't know if maybe I don't know if like once this became like a Netflix thing, I don't know how hands-on they are like with creatively, and I'm starting to wonder if maybe not having studio execs mess with a movie is actually bad. Like if you just let someone do their thing, if that's bad. Like, I know I've always railed on just like, hey, man, stop fucking with the art. Just let the artist make their art. But sometimes you need someone to come in and go, nah, cut that. That doesn't make sense. Nah, rearrange this because you're not conveying exactly what I want you to convey there.
Yeah.
Um,
and it's easy to get too close to your babies.
Exactly. Yes, and he had this has been a pet project of his for like 20 years. Like this has been a thing. He was just like, I have to make this movie one day. So I liked it. I liked watching it. I would watch it again. I don't understand this. This is the third Netflix movie in a row where the entire universe has shit on it, and I've been like, I don't understand what's wrong with you people. Like Bright has its problems that we clearly went over, but I still think Bright is probably worth watching at least once. That's not a 1-star movie. Cloverfield I've seen twice now, and I'm just like, I don't fucking get what anyone hates about this movie. This movie's fine. It's dumb, but it's fine.
Disappointing, but
sure,
it's not...
yeah, but I mean, it's like, it's still kind of cool, and anyone who says that movie looks like garbage can fuck off.
Yeah, that complaint will...
Yeah.
I don't know what you want out of a movie.
Part of me, only because I've also been side watching the new season of Black Mirror, and I go checking out because sometimes I'm curious just because an episode will start and I'm like I think I know who directed this. There's a look to it or something like that, and I go to check it, and I'm constantly amazed at who decides on IMDb or whatever what is a bad episode of Black Mirror, and then usually when they're over, I'm kind of like, that's your lowest rated episode this season.
Yeah.
I just feel like the Netflix model of passively consuming these things with little to no effort required to viewing them is just bringing in people that are like meh with everything. I push play and I sat there on my phone and okay, so for example, granted, it is not the best episode of this season, but there's one episode of Black Mirror this season that's in black and white, and it was really low rated compared to the other ones. And I was like, and I watched it and I was like, why? And I can't help but just think about stupid things I've heard people younger than me say, people that just hate black and white, period.
Right.
It doesn't matter what it is, just black and white, that's old, fuck that shit. Yeah. And I'm like, and part of me is just like, is that it? I just feel like everyone's this armchair quarterback now in a system where it takes no effort to view or pay attention to a thing.
Yeah.
And it's everyone has this strong opinions. It's were you even watching it at all? I just know people that corner mirror it on their PC while they're doing 5 other things, and it's did you really appreciate this at all? I don't know. And I just feel like there's something to be said about going to a theater where it's a singular experience, where I'm sitting and I'm engaged with this thing. And I feel like 9 times out of 10, that tends to bring higher ratings, unless it's just something that there's that group think universe thing where it's nope, fuck that thing, and I will find reasons why it sucks.
Yeah.
But see, so, I mean, I checked, after I watched it, checked the consensus of this movie on Letterboxd, and I follow people who I guess would be considered film Twitter and that kind of group of, the higher, just whatever. But, I keep seeing all these, half-star and 1-star reviews of Mute, and I'm like, not in my wildest dreams, not in anyone's wildest dreams, could you just look at that movie and come away from it and go, that's fucking trash.
Yeah, I mean, aesthetics alone are worth a star or two.
Absolutely. The movie, okay, so, when you guys talked about Blade Runner 2049, I sat here and stayed silent because I didn't like Blade Runner 2049 at all. I couldn't stand it. I would almost say I hated it, but not even going to go that far. But I would never in a million years say it's a 1-star movie. That movie's fucking gorgeous. That is an amazing movie to look at, and that's the one thing I pull from it, is that movie looks fucking amazing, and I'm thrilled that Roger Deakins finally got his cinematography Oscar for it. So even as much as I would never watch Blade Runner again, if anyone asked me to say something good about Blade Runner, I would say that movie is fucking gorgeous, and it's not a waste of time to watch. Mute is the same way. It has created this universe that is fascinating. The little details throughout this movie are amazingly well thought out, and it's conceptually alone, it's one of those things where it's just you guys must have prepped this movie for years. How did you? It's incredible, and so much of it is seamless too. I mean, the effects, they're obviously very digital, but it's just I would have never thought to do this. Like, this is impressive as shit. I just,
No.
I can't fathom how people are just like, 1 star, man, that movie can suck a fuck. You know, it's like,
I think we've reached the point where it's basically that so many people, movies were either 1 star or 5 star.
yeah,
I hated it or I loved it,
don't get
and there's no like, that was all right. It just feels like that middle ground keeps eroding away.
Yeah.
And people feel like if you just go, that's all right, that means nobody's listening to you talk about it.
yeah,
And like, no, you got to hear my take on this.
yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not 5-starring that movie. I mean,
No.
I would if I were grading it solely on aesthetics. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that movie looks amazing in 4K HDR and all that shit. You know, it's like it's the kind of movie made for that.
Yeah. And it's another really colorful movie.
Yeah,
like
it
the
is.
colors in it are just really something.
But yeah, I mean, it's just there is something missing in the plot
Yeah.
that is keeping it from, like, you know, Moon is like a super tightly written script.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
and
You watch Moon and you were fully invested the
Yeah.
whole way, and this is kind of like, I don't know about this, guys. This doesn't seem right. Like there's a chunk missing somewhere. But I just feel like there's this like, hey, Netflix, how dare you? Like I just feel like that's a thing, and I don't understand it all of a sudden. It just suddenly like, man, Bright was fucking terrible, so now whatever else you release, man, we're gonna fucking shit on that worse.
Well, I mean, everyone started shitting on the Marvel series too. Now I know Iron Fist is boring as fuck.
Yeah.
But like none of them are like outwardly bad.
I know.
I mean, I guess Defenders wasn't awesome either. But I mean, there's just a lot of people that hate on all of the other ones. Like literally, like fuck Jessica Jones, fuck Luke Cage. I'm like,
Hell no.
fuck all y'all.
Yeah, y'all can get fucked.
Like, I mean, just we live in a world where, like, you know, you can get these like flirting with PG-13/R rated, you know, comic series, like basically the Marvel Max imprint on screen, done well, like people caring, like, I mean, doing weird things that they don't have to do with like long take one shots and shit like that. It's like y'all just can't even appreciate this. Like, it's sad. It really is sad. But it's just become this thing. It's like, fuck Netflix. Why am I paying for it? You know what? You're entirely within your power to stop.
Yeah.
You know, stop hate paying.
Yeah, really, that's the dumbest thing. Like, hate watching I get, hate paying is really stupid. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not, like I said, it's just I'm kind of with you. I'm more in shock of like the absolute hate for it. Like I said, I can, if it's because of subject material and you know that is completely off-putting for you, I will grant you that.
Yeah.
I will give you a pass on that, but understand that a subject matter that is uncomfortable or terrible does not a bad thing make.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Let me talk about a couple more movies.
Okay.
all right.
Because I watched them so long ago, they are fading fast from
Oh,
memory.
no.
'cause
All right,
we
fair.
took last week off. So you had talked about Tombstone, so I was like, you know what? I should probably watch Tombstone again. So I rewatched Tombstone. Tombstone is fucking badass. Like that movie, that's a really strong movie. Its plot is very simple. It's like, here are these bullies, and these dudes show up and just like, no bullies, fuck you, and murder them all.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's literally every single person is somebody. Like, someone just wanders in, turns around, you're like, oh fuck. It throughout the entire goddamn thing, it keeps happening. Just everyone in that movie is somebody.
Yeah.
And maybe they weren't somebody at that time of filming Tombstone, but they have since become somebody. It's strange. That casting director was a genius in how they did that. So Tombstone is strong and should be watched. If you've never seen it, or if you haven't seen it recently, rewatch it. It holds up. Kurt Russell's really good in that. Obviously, Val Kilmer's really good in that. It's got Sam Elliott in it. Sam Elliott's really good in that, too.
Yeah.
And Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton's really good in that. I mean, it's top to bottom, man. Like Michael Rooker, just, you know, face turns in that movie, and you're just like, all right, hell yeah, let's do this, Michael Rooker. So then I was like, you know, I had always been of the opinion that, you know, Tombstone is a good movie, but Wyatt Earp is a film. So therefore, I should revisit Wyatt Earp. Tombstone's better.
Yeah.
Just
It
Tombstone's
is.
better. Wyatt Earp is not trying to be Tombstone. The problem is it's trying to be too much. It's trying to cover too much ground, and by doing so, there's no emotional connection to anything because it's just from point A to point B, and it just doesn't linger with any one time period long enough for you to really get into it. And then just when it does start to focus on the Tombstone stuff, it's not as good. It just doesn't do it right.
Yeah.
The characters that Tombstone emphasized are almost background characters in Wyatt Earp, and it's confusing. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
Like the Powers Booth character, who was the prime enemy in Tombstone, is just this background dude in Wyatt Earp, and you're just like, why aren't they mad at that guy?
Right.
So,
that's weird. I mean, granted, not even remotely on the same level, but I mean, it's to me, it's kind of the same thing with the two Columbus movies they made.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1492 is trying real hard to be a film.
Yeah.
It's just boring as fuck.
Yes.
And the other one that's like silly.
Yeah.
Is kind of fun to watch.
Right.
Because it's like, here's Tom Selleck as the king of France or Spain. It's
Spain,
like,
yeah.
You know, it's like, well, that's just stupid, but you know what? Fuck it. This is stupid and fun.
yes, exactly.
You know.
Yeah. But I also really love Dennis Quaid as Doc Holliday in Wyatt Earp. It's the characters are so different, even though you recognize that it's the same character. It's just so strange. But there are very good things in Wyatt Earp. It's just Tombstone coming out 6 months before it fucking destroyed it. And then you go and read all the behind the scenes shit where like Kevin Costner sabotaged Tombstone complete. Like he was supposed to be Tombstone was the movie, and then he left because he didn't like the script because it was too much about other people, not him. And he like blackmailed a bunch of studio people to make sure that that movie didn't come out and didn't get released. It's just a bunch of dumb petty bullshit. Back when like people really fucking hated Kevin Costner and for reasons I never quite understood because I didn't know all the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, so
now you understand.
I do. Yeah. And now I kind of want to watch 3,000 Miles to Graceland again just to watch the two Wyatt Earps dress up as Elvis and rob banks.
That's true. I never thought about that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But man, that movie's fucking terrible. God, it's so bad.
What, 3,000 Miles to Graceland?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it is bad.
Yeah, no, that movie, God.
Yeah, it is bad. Is
So-
that it? Is that it?
Yeah.
You caught up
that's-
now?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I got to run through a couple more movies real quick. So the Oscars happen and whatever. I mean, it's the Oscars. What do you fucking do? I
Whatever.
mean, whatever. I'm just saying, like at this point, I kind of don't give a shit for the most. I mean, it's awesome that like
Hey.
a genre picture won.
It's a pretty good movie. I liked it.
I mean, I'm just like it's cool that like things like that are happening. But I decided to go back one year because I realized I only watched was the Best Picture nominee for about 20 seconds movie in La La Land.
Oh, yeah.
So I decided to go back and watch Moonlight because I never saw it.
Oh, okay.
Holy shit! Like, it's rare to me. Like, for the most part, Best Picture nominees for the last 10 years, it's like, yeah, that was a real strong movie. Like, no extreme feelings for most of them. It was just like, yeah, I can see why this is Oscar bait. Moonlight is a fucking film and a half. Like, holy shit! Just like really, really well made movie. Yeah, like it's a movie I could barely even talk about because it's almost Tree of Life-esque where it's more about feelings from scene to scene instead of like what's actually happening. But damn, just the visuals and stuff that they do in that movie are outstanding. Like it is colorful and interesting and framed like Kubrick and Wes Anderson movies. I mean, I guess Wes Craven has some tricks, but not like this.
Sure.
But I'm just saying, like, there are so many fascinating film things happening in that movie that it's absolutely worth watching. So, and I mean, yeah, everybody acting wise is fantastic. So, yeah, totally recommend watching that movie. So, it's the thing that was sitting out there, and I was like, man, I guess I should watch this.
It's nice how those A24 movies are on Amazon, basically.
Yeah, it is. So it's easy to see. But yeah, I guess they're the hopefully new, less rapey Miramax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
They seem to be
Yeah, they're kind of knocking it out of the park so far.
picking the right pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Moonlight is fantastic. So and it is on Amazon Prime, so you should go watch it. And if you can see it in more definition, I would recommend it because it looks outstanding.
Yeah.
But anyway, and the last one is I teased this on our Discord that I was going to go down this route.
Oh man.
I may be pulling the plug on this already because I was talking to Chuck and I realized I've never seen a Hellraiser. Any of the Hellraisers, and there's 17,000 of them.
There's almost a dozen.
Only the first three are good, right?
Well, okay, so
Uh-oh.
I know I'm about to pick a fight with a very vocal crowd, I think.
Why don't you preface this by saying you're sick?
I am sick. I am sick in the head, but not as much as Clive Barker. So here's my thing. So like there are horror series that run on for 7+ movies, 10 or more, and usually the trick with them is that the first one and maybe 2 or something are good, and they get progressively worse. If the series gets worse after Hellraiser 1, that must be completely unwatchable, because that movie makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Like I literally had no idea what the hell was happening for most of that entire movie. Mm-hmm. I will give it the positive of, like, if you're a gore freak and you like practical effects, that is a movie for you, because I mean it is gory as fuck, and a lot of it, well, pretty much all of it is practical. I mean, at a certain point, I stopped watching the movie because I couldn't figure out what was happening. I mean, it was literally like anime levels of, like, I have no idea what the fuck is happening right now. And I just started, like, looking through the way they were doing things. I was just like, oh, well, okay, I can see what they did there to make this effect. And I just started like, literally, like,
watching the
film. I was just like, I was watching the Matrix happen. I was like, well, okay, this thing coming down the hallway, I can actually kind of see the bicycle thing that it's on and shit like this. It's like, I just, man, I don't know. Like, I was going to watch more because you teased me that 4 goes to space.
It does,
and
yeah.
that's my thing. When you could take a long running film series and send it to space for no goddamn reason.
Yeah.
I really just kind of wanted to get there. I don't know if I can. Like, Hellraiser 1 is bad.
Let me run this by you.
Okay.
What? Take 6 months.
What?
Just kind of put this viewing out of your head and come back
okay.
to it in about 6 months and give it one more shot.
Like, rewatch 1?
Yes.
Rewatch 1?
Yes.
Oh, fuck, man. I don't know if I can do that.
You really didn't like that.
I really didn't like it. Like, I realized, okay, so I was talking, and, like, I just don't think Clive Barker and me are ever going to work.
That's quite possible.
I
That's like me and David Cronenberg. I'm like,
I hated the video game, whatever he tried to make back in the day.
Jericho.
Sure. I think there was also Undying, maybe. So was that another one?
I don't.
Clive Barker's Undying. I don't know.
Maybe.
My experiences are slim to none when it comes to his shit. I think maybe I've seen some of his Tales from the Dark Side and shit, like, anthology things, but if Hellraiser is the top of his game, I did not have a good takeaway from that. I've actually never seen Candyman either, and I did not. The only other one I think I've seen is Lord of Illusion, which I didn't like, and you said
I don't
Lord
like
of
it
Illusion
either.
is bad.
Yeah, but I do like Candyman. I like Hellraiser a lot. I like Candyman a lot.
I feel like it's a thing we're never going to see eye to eye. I think my biggest problem with it is, like, it's not even the gore. Like, the gore is off-putting, but it's supposed to be, obviously. Right. It's that everyone in the movie, like, nobody in the movie acts like a human being. Like, it's all supposed to be taking place in our world.
Yeah.
But nobody acts like how anybody should be acting in any given situation.
I think one of the things that's really strange about it is that the main dude is dubbed. Like the main, like, the husband, boyfriend, that guy who kind of sets all the wheels in motion. Like, that guy is, like, so ridiculously dubbed that it's just like, wait, why did they cast you?
Yeah, I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, everything about it was off-putting. Like, I mean, there was just, like, down to, like, little things, like, inconsequential. There was so much shit in that movie that could be cut, by the way. Hold on. I'm about to die here.
Don't die.
Ah! No, like, there's entire characters that could be cut out of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is no reason for the daughter to have boyfriend guy. Like, he serves zero purpose in the entire movie, and they spend time of, like, getting to know them, and then, like, walk down this alley and see this weird guy, and then he shows up again eating crickets, and it's like, what the fuck is with this weird guy?
Horror movie. Spooky gross.
Sure, spooky gross. I don't know. I just, horror movies that I like there's no gore for gore's sake or wasted plot lines. I mean, like, to me, just going off and doing weird shit like that is pointless and just not needed. Like, I literally don't know the point of certain scenes in that movie. Like, I don't know what the point of the dinner party was. I don't know what, why they even needed to add those people or anything. There was just so much where I was like, why am I watching this scene?
I'm also pretty sure Hellraiser was a short story.
Okay.
So
just filler.
You just got to pad that thing out. So you put a weird homeless dude in there eating crickets.
All right.
I don't know. How about this? How about you just go ahead and complete the filmography? Watch Candyman.
Okay.
And if you don't like Candyman, then I would say, you know what? Okay,
Just bail.
Clive Barker is
Not my thing.
Not your thing.
Never gonna be my thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm totally not saying
Sure.
that. I just think that
But see, I like Cronenberg. That's weird.
I know.
Like,
I know.
yeah, it's,
So
I don't know. I like David Lynch mostly too. I think you're on the fence about David Lynch.
I don't
Well,
like
you
that.
you like Twin Peaks.
I
but-
like TV David Lynch.
Yeah.
Except recent TV David Lynch. I like network TV David Lynch.
Ooh,
How's that?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Hellraiser to me is one of those movies when someone says, like, what's a great horror movie I should watch? I would say somewhere in my top 5, I would probably say Hellraiser. And
That's mean to those people.
well, I don't have a problem with the story. I think it's incredible filmmaking. I think the score is fucking fantastic. Hellraiser is fascinating to me, even though I will fully admit it doesn't entirely make sense either. It's just fascinating to me on all levels. So
Okay.
but yeah, why don't you watch Candyman? And if you don't like Candyman, then just bail.
All right. Fair enough.
All right.
So it might not be a Hellraiser marathon. It might just be let me see if I even can stomach Clive Barker.
Yeah, because that's a very possible. Even though he didn't do any of the others, maybe you'll like watered down studio version of Hellraiser better.
Is that what Candyman is?
No, I'm saying the other Hellraisers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, obviously the stuff is off-putting, but I can handle it.
Yeah.
I've seen other. I still like. Shit, I just watched The Thing recently. Like if you want to talk about things exploding out of things and autopsies and shit, there's a lot of gross shit in
That
that.
movie's gross, but it's fun.
Yeah, I've seen Dead Alive. I can handle these things.
Right. Yeah.
I have nothing to contribute to this conversation.
No, that's
so,
fair.
Fine,
you know,
that's fine.
I've just never seen Hellraiser or any of them.
Just watch Hellraiser.
Right, actually, I've seen Hellraiser. I saw it like when it came out
Right.
on VHS. So
Yeah.
like my brain from back then just hasn't retained any of it.
Mm-hmm.
I might give it a shot.
Okay.
We'll see if I like it more than Harlow did.
Tune in.
Yeah. Speaking of horror movies,
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Criterion put out a Night of the Living Dead Blu-ray. Holy crap! They cleaned up whatever print they found, and it looks like perfect, which is really weird because, that film's been in public domain for so long, and we've been so used to seeing like just crap transfers, and the sound sucks. And man, that's a nice looking DVD or Blu-ray, I should say, not DVD. And the special features, there's new interviews like with Frank Darabont and Guillermo del Toro and Robert Rodriguez on the second disc, and it's like really great just hearing people who know their shit talking about basically classic movies, being like, all right, like there's stuff just I never would have thought about unless they brought it up.
Yeah.
About not only cultural significance, but just filmmaking techniques and little things that they did that they're like, I saw he did that, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't even realize you could do something like that. So there's some really good interview stuff, but that is a Blu-ray well worth purchasing. And I haven't been purchasing much lately, but that one definitely made the cut.
Yeah.
And it just makes me desperate for Criterion to get a hold of Dawn of the Dead so we can actually get a Blu-ray release of that freaking thing. Because I have that 4-disc thing from whenever the hell that was that has all the different cuts and all the special features. And I just want a nice clean Blu-ray of Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
But I don't know, whoever it is that holds the rights is just still being a complete asshole about it for some reason. And
I wish I knew what he did with the rights to those movies because they are so convoluted and.
Well, I know Night of the Living Dead, they just didn't file it correctly.
Right. Yeah. It's always been public domain.
So it just went public domain immediately, which is crazy to think about too.
Sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it really sucks for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even Day of the Dead is this weird rights nightmare, and that's why they keep making these weird semi-sequels and reimaginings and
garbage and all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, Day of the Dead is almost becoming like the Amityville thing of just we've got the name. So
yeah, but that Criterion Blu-ray is 100% worth getting.
Cool.
Yeah,
all right.
Because I don't really need to talk about Night of the Living Dead. I mean, come on.
It's good. It's a good groundbreaking horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I forgot. I have one more movie. I know. It's been so long since we podcasted. I watched The Disaster Artist.
Oh yeah.
So I would say I enjoyed The Disaster Artist, but I would also say two things about it. One is that I don't want to say that I'm mad at the haha Johnny come latelys in terms of that movie's like there's just a bunch of people quoting stuff from that movie now, and I'm just like, okay, fucker, we were doing that 5 years ago. Where have you been? You know, and I'm not actually mad about it, but just like when I see someone going ah ha ha oh hi doggy, you know, on Twitter or something, I'm just like, motherfucker, we did this already.
And it feels like everyone, like these people, have only seen Disaster Artist.
Right,
They haven't
exactly.
actually seen The Room,
Yeah.
the thing that it's referencing.
Right. So just a hint of that kind of irks me, that there's this newfound like, oh man, fuck this thing, you know, or it's just like, nah, you ain't real, y'all. We've been here since the beginning. The other thing about it is that there's literally no insight or anything. That movie just exists so that all these people can interject themselves into the making of The Room so that they can give little podcasty snide remarks about, well, this is crazy. Why is this happening? That's all the movie is. It's just James Franco going nuts as this character. Mm-hmm. There's no explanation as to why this guy is the way he is. No, even if they made it up, they don't bother doing it. And then it's just everyone else in the movie is just like, wow, this is weird. This is not how things are done. This is strange. And that's all it is from start to finish. Is this guy's weird. He's saying weird things.
I felt like there was more to it than that. I mean, there's weird little things like him just going and buying the cameras instead of renting them, and
yeah, but that's
like,
what I'm saying.
I want film and digital and all of it. You know, it's like that's why it looks different from scene to scene.
Yeah,
all this weird shit. You know, it's like.
But that scene is just like these guys in the shop are just like, okay, no one buys anything. They just rent it, but okay, weirdo, we'll let you buy it as long as you film here in our studio. It's, I don't know. It just there's something. It just seems like we could do that. Like these guys just got together and it's like, oh, you do a great impression. Let's just do it. Let's just film it. And I don't know. It just didn't hit me the way I wanted it to hit me. It just felt, and most of the movie, I just kind of felt like, man, he's a colossal asshole. And then at the end, they're like, oh, don't you feel bad for him? And I'm like, no, no, I don't. I really don't. I mean, there's a thing at the end where he's just like, oh, they hate my movie, and then like 10 seconds later, he's immediately persuaded to just embrace the hate for his movie. And I'm just like, well, this is fucking disingenuous as hell. This is like 2 years of backlash whittled down into the premiere. He just jumps on stage and just like, you like my movie, yay. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. It's got funny bits in it and stuff like that, and the performances are good, but it just, I don't know, something about it just rubbed me the wrong way. And maybe it's just me being a bad movie hipster.
We are bad movie hipsters.
I know.
This has been documented.
Yeah.
The hipster artist.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just feel like if they start making a Birdemic movie, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Like, listen, assholes.
Birdemic is pure. Do not touch it like this.
I mean, I felt like, it's hard to compare the two, but it's like, you watch Ed Wood, and Ed Wood feels like it's got real humanity behind it. Like, this is a dude who's terrible at his job, but he's trying so hard. Like, he's really passionate about it. Mm-hmm. This just feels like a guy who just doesn't give a shit, and his buddy said, we should make our own movie, and he was like, okay, and then they made their own movie, and then everyone laughed at it, and then he was like, okay, and then...
What I've seen is it doesn't seem to, and I haven't seen it, so I can't really, but it's just reactions from other people that I've kind of gathered, is that they still don't understand Tommy Wiseau, and that for a movie that's all about Tommy Wiseau, it's not really telling you anything you don't know about Tommy Wiseau.
Exactly.
Whereas, stuff like you mentioned, like Ed Wood kind of like gets behind, okay, here's why this character, Gods and Monsters, this is why this person is this way.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas this one is just kind of,
I mean, there's a...
I figured out how to do an impression.
Yeah. There's a scene where he's flat out confronted, like, why are you the way you are? And he doesn't answer. And that's just the end of the scene. Mm-hmm. And that's supposed to be like the big dramatic moment of the movie. where someone is just like, all right, enough of this shit. How old are you? Where did you get your money? What's your deal? Where are you from? Mm-hmm. And he just doesn't answer, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like I maybe it's me reacting to Tommy Wiseau suddenly fucking being everywhere. Like, you didn't earn this. Like, you made a shitty movie because you're incompetent, and it's hilarious as a result, but like, you shouldn't be at the fucking Oscars. You know? You shouldn't be these places. It's like everyone's fucking goofing on you and you're going along with it.
Yeah.
It's
well,
just,
and it's
all of
also
that rubs
like,
me the wrong way.
Like, it feels like the making of the movie was genuine in that this is how he was acting.
Yeah.
And now he's playing a character.
Yes.
And like, he basically hasn't stopped playing that character since everyone kind of discovered this movie.
Right. I just think of the several things I've seen him do in the aftermath of The Room. You know, there was like that web series where he was playing video games.
Video game one, yeah.
And then like fucking Samurai Cop 2, where it was just like, God, just...
Yeah, and what was that? House That Drips Blood on Tommy or something like
On
that?
Alex.
On Alex, yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, I want us to gather the money and we make a behind the scenes and what happened to the Duncan Jacks movies. I feel like that's the thing we discover that no one else has embraced.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a story there to be told, and no one's telling it.
Like, we made 2 movies, and then everybody disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah. Like no one
Like,
knows
literally
where any
everyone
of them.
involved.
Yeah. Like, no one, like, the actor made 2 movies, like,
Yeah.
the director made 2 movies, like,
Yeah.
everybody just disappeared off the
Yeah.
face of the earth.
They made him.
I haven't checked lately. Is Unmasking the Idol still on Netflix or on Amazon?
No.
I don't know.
Not anymore.
There's a page for it, but it says, sorry, we cannot offer you this movie right
Yeah.
now.
And Order of the Black Eagle's been gone for years.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they're
I need to just download a torrent of it.
they're
I
HD
need to give in
prints.
and do it.
Like they
Yeah, it's played on MGM HD. I may have copies of it.
Yeah.
I mean, what? If you're not going to offer it to me, I would buy those movies legit if you
Oh, yeah,
offer them to me.
100%.
Come on, Kino Lorber, you got the MGM library, right?
well, the MGM library's all over the place
Okay.
at this point, but someone's got it. I mean, I don't know.
But yes, I want to see what the hell.
Yeah, I
Where
want
the
to
hell Duncan
track
Jacks-
somebody down. Like, I mean, if
Yeah.
somebody's got to still be alive that worked on those movies.
Yeah, I mean, we don't tend to do interviews at all. We've only done like 2, I think, in the history of all of our shows. And it's like, that is one. Like, anyone involved in the making of Order of the Black Eagle or Unmasking the Idol, like, I would kill to talk to them
Yeah, I want to know what happened.
Yeah.
and find out if that one stuntman got his head run over and
Yeah,
died.
right, yes, because it sure as hell looked like that's what happened. And you left it in as a tribute to that dead man.
Yep.
He died doing what he loved.
Yes, getting run
I
over
would
by
say
a four-wheeler.
I would save that for the last question, though.
Right.
Because it would be kind of like...
Yeah, where would you go from there? So, tell us fun stories from the set.
Yeah.
No more questions. I'm not legally allowed to talk about
well,
that.
like, it would be like asking Landis about the helicopter. But,
Yeah.
hey, man,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happened there?
So anyway, Animal House.
Yeah.
Did you guys have fun on that set?
Tell me about where the See You Next Wednesday thing came from. Anyway, about
Yeah.
the kids and
Yeah.
the guy you killed.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at
Yeah.
dead people.
Some interview questions you work up to.
Right.
That's what
Right,
we're trying
yeah.
to say.
Yes.
There's an art to it.
There is.
An art we don't have.
No,
clearly.
we wouldn't do it. We would just immediately like, did that guy die?
Dude, that guy, they ran over that guy's head with the ATV.
Is that why you all went into hiding?
Oh, my God. That might have been the last scene filmed.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, man.
Did we watch a snuff film?
Shot on 8mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I guess that's it, huh?
Yeah. Contact information. It's real easy. Just go to BMFcast.com. All of this stuff is over on the side. Click some buttons and stuff. I don't know if it... I mean, the phone number's out there too, but I'll say it anyway. 910-5-JOCKS-BMF. That's 910-556-9263.
That's right. And check us out, patreon.com/BMFcast. Exclusive shows, bonus shows, early access shows.
There's a plethora of content.
We honestly put out too much shit.
Yeah, we should really scale back. It's so much content, you guys.
We're sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please accept our apology, and our apology.
Yeah,
is
because
more
I
content.
I deal with all those feeds myself. I'm like, man, we have something that, man.
Yeah, we should knock it off.
Yeah.
Really.
Really should.
Literally, there's something. There's at least one new thing every week. Most week there's like No, wait. There's at least 2 new things every week. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some weeks it's like 4 things. Yeah.
We should stop.
Nah.
Okay.
People pay us to keep doing it, so we might as well keep doing it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Howard Dean. Getting all pumped about it. Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, let's get out of here, shall we? I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie,
I'm Chuck.
and this is BMFcast out.
Anyone, I'm
I
dying.
always forget that someone else has to say it.
It really does throw us off when BJ's not here.
We're sorry, and you're welcome.
Okay, we should actually be able to track down the director of Order of the Black Eagle because
Yeah.
he directed like 1 million episodes of Power Rangers.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So he didn't, like, one and done, huh?
No.
Okay.
He went to TV. Power Rangers, VR Troopers, Beetleborgs.
Ugh.
Let's track him
Well.
down.
Directed a movie called Ghost Dog, but not the Ghost Dog you're thinking of.
Thanks, Steve. Happy anniversary to us.
Yay.
I think that's our only anniversary like requirement is a movie we're pretty sure is going to be high up there in the jocks territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't always happen. We've tried and failed before. Where we would pick something like, this is going to be good. Oh, this isn't good.
Yeah.
But we keep it real.
But, you know,
Or something.
every once in a while we get an Action Jackson.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or a Taking of the Beverly Hills.
Yeah, didn't we watch a Nick Cage one? It was whatever the not taken but
Firebirds.
yeah, there was that. There was also whatever
Firebirds
the
was
not
100.
taken stolen.
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 Not taken.
Not taken.
Stolen, not taken.
Yep. The fucking stupid ass movie.
All right, listen to me. You're about to be stolen.
That would have been amazing if it had been like a shot for shot
Yeah.
remake just with Nick Cage and
Just know I will find you.
Just know I don't really have any skills.
But this dollar bill's trying to tell me something.
I honestly do not remember anything about that movie.
He ran around New Orleans. That's all
Was
I
he was
remember.
chasing down his daughter?
Yeah, it was in New Orleans, and,
Like Mardi
and
Gras.
they end up at that abandoned amusement park at the end.
I do not remember that.
Yeah. That's
I just remember we've seen it.
Yep. The
Yeah.
problem for me is that I've seen like 8 Nicolas Cage movies that he filmed in New Orleans, so they all
Oh,
blend
God.
together. It just all becomes like, oh, they're in the Fifth Ward again. Well, whatever.
Yeah. And Bad Lieutenant's probably the only one that anyone will remember
Yeah.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah. But he's filmed a bunch of movies in New Orleans. I think he just lived there for a while and was just like, yeah, you want me in a movie, I'll just roll out of bed.
He's like, I was really into Creole food for a while.
Yeah. So,
I'm from New Orleans.
yes.
You know Chalamet? Did you stay through or watch through the credits?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, my
That's my
ears.
favorite part, though. Yeah, my name's Tommy. Get out of my face.
Yeah. Your accent's stupid.
Somebody want to do the Patreon bumper thing?
Oh shit!
I think it's your turn. Did you do one yet?
I did.
Oh, okay. All right.
Are you lying to us, or did you actually do one?
I did do one.
Okay.
We sometimes feel like you're lying to us.
No.
Okay. I believe you.
Remember, because it sounded like an audible.com ad?
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm under the pressure to come up with a better one than I already did, which is gonna be tough.
The Casper mattress. It's the best mattress.
They don't pay us. You don't need to say
I've
that.
never slept on a Casper mattress.
No
I'm
free
saying I
plugs?
sleep on a ghost mattress. And it's friendly, if you know what I'm saying.
You just slide right through it.
Yeah, it's got magic
What's funny
fingers.
is those ads actually have me like, man, I should probably order a Casper mattress. But then I'm like, no, like I need the pocket spring ones because like Jen and I move too much in the middle of the night and wake each other up, so we need the pocket spring things.
Aren't they foam mattresses? The Casper ones? Yeah, you wouldn't feel that shit. I got a foam mattress. It's not a Casper. Seriously, I could jump on that shit and you wouldn't feel it next to it. It's like fucking space foam.
Yeah, you gotta get one of those NASA mattresses.
Yeah.
Like Al Pacino orders.
Yeah.
A mattress.
Have a problem with the sleep store. Credit card being stupid. How much I got in my checking account? $4, Mr. Pacino. All right.
Need to move some money over.
I need you to transfer $20. All right, that leaves $4,400,000 in your savings account. Oh,
So good. so stupid.
Having trouble at the Sleepy Store.
My credit card's being stupid.
I'm glad he at least got to do the Pacino once.
I still think the pants one would have been funnier.
Yeah. The pants one, I have the entire sketch in my head.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like-
Just
like,
the
he
lowering
describes
the
that
lowering
sketch
lowering
so
the
well.
newspaper in pants.
He describes it so well that I
Oh,
I now
absolutely.
have that that false memory of something.
this aired on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, my
absolutely.
brain has made the false memory of the pants.
Oh, and it would be one of the filmed
Sketch.
ones, like the digital shorts or
Yes.
whatever. You know, like
oh yeah, that's exactly where my head went.
pants.
But I just love that he was like, yeah, we could never do it because I'm like 6'5" and Al Pacino's like 4'8".
Yes.
Like people can't suspend that disbelief.
No.
Pants.
Yeah, it's like, fucking cares, man.
Gotta like the guy with the pants.
Yeah, he's like, so they always had to put me behind a chair or something, or behind a desk.
Al Pacino's.
Oh, I get it. I still say that all the time.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Nobody knows.
No.
They're like, when did Al Pacino say that? He never did.
Nope.
All right, time to get out of here, huh?
Yep.
Oof.
Oof.
Shut it down. Shut down the stream.